Let us know who's out there watching us tonight on the Hangout with Adam and Ryan. Going up soon.
Hey!
Once again,
I was almost there.
You're almost there. Once again, Adam can't support our own channel.
Hey! I've subbed before. I've done that.
Nice. The getting a sub to work on Twitch, not as easy as you might think. But anyway, hey, welcome to the Hangout with Adam and Ryan. We are hanging out. It's Thursday. We're at a cool new location, part of the house. Long time viewers of the show will know that we've been out here for other things. We did, part of the 24-hour live stream last year for Extra Life out here, and Adam had been setting up this amazingly really cool new, basically like kind of replicating what is in the main art room or creative room or whatever that we can call it, and then sort of the bar hangout downstairs. And man, it is looking slick and working well and sounding amazing.
Hopefully it's sounding amazing. We need some.
Yeah, let us know.
A DJ set.
Anyway, just
I am trying to sub to our channel right now, but
Yeah.
because I'm a moderator, it's also like, hey, you're joining in the moderate. No, I want to sub to myself.
That's funny.
How do you do the thing?
right,
Back to my account.
just have it put it on your credit card.
Wait, it's asking me to opt out of stuff. Empower your viewers to share your clips. Yeah, let's let them have to do that.
Sure.
This is great. No, we have a great show ahead.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say you can finish that. I can go through. I can go through the
you
run
get
of
the
the
rundown.
show. I'll do the run of the show. Adam is showing me a birthday gift that he got. We don't have our drinks. Normally we would be toasting with whiskeys right now at the beginning of the show, but Adam has a cool whiskey thing that he wants to show off, and I think it's gonna be super fun. And then we have a couple articles. We're going to do, articles. There's like a ChatGPT thing with teachers that was interesting. And then Adobe Max happened this week and had some cool things, not only that they talked about and showed off and have available to do right now, but some very cool things that are like coming up in the future, which I think they have some videos, and I'd love to get Adam's hot takes on them. We're probably going to play Drawful. We're probably going to play Jackbox of some kind. And we're here, and you sound good. That's great. Thank you. Oh,
Hells yeah!
Yeah. Woo.
Finally did it. We did it. Thanks for all the support. 10 out of 10. Oh, yeah, we just got Oh, man. We got an achievement.
Amazing.
Hells yeah.
Some things are happening. Gamification is happening on the screen right now.
We got the achievement. There was
Wow.
achievement. I forgot about that. If you get 10 subs,
Hey.
we get up to another
Nice.
tier.
Oh, man.
Man.
Wow.
Good job.
Good
Mr.
job.
Me.
Pat yourself on the back. Little self high five.
Oh my god.
Oh, fun.
But I had been subbing to Kylia because I had the same
yeah.
issue. Then I figured it out. You have to
Oh,
do it
okay,
on a
you gotta
laptop.
figure
You
it
can't
out.
do it on a thing. So
Okay, and then so we're gonna play Drawful. We're gonna do legit Extra Life planning because literally the next show is Extra Life after this.
So what is Extra Life? We got to let everyone
yeah, I
know.
guess
I
that's
mean,
true.
what is Extra Life?
So Extra Life is a charity organization that raises money for children's hospitals across America and across the world. And how they do that is they do 1 day a year where everyone gets together and on Twitch and lots of places and even in person and live, and they stream it. And it's 24 hours of gaming to raise money for this awesome
It's
charity.
gaming, streaming, or whatever. Slapping.
If slapping happens to happen. So we did it last year. It was amazing. We raised, to over $1,200. We more than doubled our goal that we had, and it was a super fun time. And there was slaps to keep us awake and to like celebrate milestones that turned into a whole thing. And no, it was awesome. And so today we're gonna plan what's going to happen next time, because I think there's stuff we could take from last time. There's cool new things that we're thinking about.
We
though.
should go look at our old list and see.
I was gonna say, like, what do we want to bring over from the old list?
So like check this out at the top of the stream. You'll see
man.
there's our little counter. So if you're gonna be
Okay.
jumping in, we're just gonna keep it there to show you. We'll have some milestones. We should create some milestones
should.
today. I think that would be sweet.
think
So
that'd be
if
great.
you're also interested, just to give you kind of a rundown of what this all is about, I am gonna show you. On our double drop down page, if you want to take a quick peek at this. This is our
Pow.
page, and yeah, it looked really good. So up at the top here, if you go to doubledropdown.com, you can be a proud supporter of Extra Life. I would say, wait till the stream day itself before you do the thing. But if you click on our banner, you're gonna get over to our page.
Mike Azul, don't think I didn't think about that and put into ChatGPT, what are some alternatives to punching someone as an upping for after slapping?
You know what was hilarious is like everyone's escalated it in that way, and so I was telling some people at work, and I was like explaining, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Oh, we're doing it because of this, and we started doing this slapping thing last year, and they're like, you're gonna update that, right? You're gonna like do something like kick each other in the nuts, I was like, whoa, no.
Yeah, because you know what the problem is? There's not much escalation past slapping that is like fun and not actually hurtful. That's like in between. I was, honestly, I had a
Light each other on fire.
dares. And I was like, yeah, is it like hot things or stuff? I don't want it to mess with my stomach. It almost, ChatGPT came up with some lame ones of like, take really heavy duty rubber bands and like snap each other with them. I was like, okay.
Distance on the slap?
Like I could see that, right? Like as some sort of level of something to do.
Oh man, that's a great
On the
idea.
neck.
We're getting into the sweet planning. Honestly, this might be something we should think about. Like it doesn't have to be painful, like it.
I was also thinking it might be fun. They have those digital wheels. And you like hit the button and it goes and it does a wheel and it has a thing. Like, so then when stuff comes up, it could be a slap or it could be something different, right? Like it would be like a thing that we would, go towards, and every $100 or something like that, we would spin the wheel. These are just some of the ideas, people, that I've come up with for ridiculous 24-hour streams.
I think that we should jump into that.
And then I did a little work on the Game Boy game. Well, we have stuff to show a little bit.
I have been getting the show ready, so totally. I didn't do much of the game this week, but I did do a bunch on the website. So it's been a long time since I updated that. I'm moving this out of the way because I got to get ready for the special event. So I got to thank Stealth Mouse for this one. She came through in the end to make this. So if you've seen our show, we do a lot of like whiskey drinking and things like that. So design and 3D print your own torture device.
I love that.
What would that be? I don't know. So if you know what a whiskey smoker is, we have two drinks smacking together on the stream. This is a perfect opportunity for us to kind of show something off. So we do have a camera here that's going to show off. Oh, nice! You got the whiskey there, and I'm glad that the audio is working because that was the hard part about making this an audio driven little scene here. So I'm gonna get my stuff and start going.
Yeah, cool. So I assume this item that you're about to show off, it doesn't actually come with whiskey. It's more like this accoutrement that we're adding to it.
That is correct, Ryan.
Good. Are you a fan of smoky whiskeys to begin with?
Yes. So why I like this thing? Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. This will be just perfect. Let me grab it. All right, this is the device that we're about to go into today. So it actually uses fire. I gotta go turn on a fan because it could take off some some things.
Do I need goggles or something? I don't have glasses. I don't have 3D printed glasses.
So what's gonna be fun is I'm gonna let you pick the wood.
It's complex.
Yeah, it reminds you of something that I'm not going to say on.
Oh, I see.
So Ryan gets to pick the particular wood this go around, or we can do a little mix of the woods.
Okay, pear, cottonwood, cherry wood, and hickory wood.
Ooh, you can really smell it too right now. Which one should we be using tonight?
Have you tried any of these?
I've done a couple of them. So you could do
let's do one that you haven't done yet. Cottonwood.
Why don't you do a mix of it? Figure some type that you would like.
Okay.
Just do like you should just be able to twist it off is what you should do. So we need whiskey.
Yeah.
That's got to be something. So I'll start that going.
So does this smell really good?
It smells like wood.
It does smell like wood.
It's just a wood thing. So what we love to make are old fashioned. So if you haven't ever made an old fashioned, I'll do that kind of like in front of this thing in a second here. Is our unsponsored whiskey of fun is Bullet Bourbon. So I'm going to go with that tonight. Oh, it even has like a little pour so it doesn't spill everywhere. It goes really too slow though when I do it that way.
It's aerating it.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
You rube. No, I don't even know if that's what it's doing.
Oh, really?
I think maybe it's making it so it doesn't spill.
I think it just slows it down so you can you don't spill a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I just eyeball it. I think this one needs a little bit more. So you get the initial whiskey in there.
Okay.
Is it a tad bit more in this one? That slowness of it's going through. All right, we're good. First portion done. Next portion. You got to get your bitters. So
Okay.
there are very special bitters for this. This is the old-fashioned aromatic bitters used in
Yeah.
cocktails. So there's a special way to do this that Heather keeps showing me. So you're supposed to like just jack it in there like that. Oh, and I just spilled some on the stream set. That's okay. It's all good. So we got our bitters all squared away. Next up, you got to get your cherries. So we got premium cocktail cherries, everyone.
Oh, man.
This thing is like ridiculously expensive. It's like $18 for these cherries.
Those are, and I wonder if it's like, are they specifically for drinks?
Yeah, and I already screwed up, by the way. I forgot to do the first step. Is I should have put the sugar in first, and then the bitters, and then the liquor. So I apologize for that, because if Heather's watching, she'll be very disappointed, because I should have done that first. But I'm putting a little sugar in here, because then you mix the bitters and the sugar together, and you kind of coat the glass. It still tastes generally the same, though.
Okay. I didn't realize there was sugar in it.
There's different ways you can get some sugar types in there, so I'm going to stir it up a little bit, get this all squared away. So right now what we're trying to get is the base of it done. We're going to put some ice cubes in here in a second, but we'll do that after we do the smoking step.
So you make the entire drink and then it gets put in the smoker.
Yeah, you want to get most of it done. All right, so now I'm going to get us some of the cherries here. I always go for 2 of the delicious cherries. I don't know if you can see this behind the microphone, but it is what it is. All right, got our cherries in there. Sometimes I put a little bit of the cherry stuff.
For extra little bit of sugar and color.
Just a little bit of sugar in there. All right, there's that one. Oh, yeah, come on. I don't want that cherry to drop out. All right, so we're close. Got some old fashions nearly created.
Okay.
It's delicious. Now we get to see what this device can do. Okay, so it's like a smoky bear. So it's smoke infusion. So the next thing is you got to open this box. Now one of the things is I got to do some improvements on the box itself because it has a leak on the side of it of the smoke that we're about to do. So what I'm gonna need you to do, Ryan, is over there turn on that fan right behind it. There's a little switch just so that it blows smoke this way. So Ryan, did you put any in here yet or? No, we didn't have any in here yet. Yeah, that's good enough for now. Okay, so what we have is this like gun type of device, and what it does is it just is a vacuum. I think
you're sort of.
Oh.
Not yeah.
There we go. It was too high.
Too high.
All right, so I'm gonna put some fire in here. It's gonna suck in. And it's gonna fill up this little container here. So let's put in a little bit of the wood.
Okay.
I'd say
I did 2. I did pear and cotton.
Doing some cottonwood. This looks very light colored wood. See what that looks like. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's not. It's blurred up a little. Put a little bit of that in there. And then we got some pear. Pear should have like a sweet flavor, I would think. Did we smell it?
I didn't smell anything still.
Smells
I also
like,
don't have a very sensitive nose.
Smells like wood. All right. So have you never seen this before, Ryan?
No.
This is not a thing you've seen.
You know, I've gotten drinks that have had smoke around them and things like that before in bars and stuff, so it probably was like that. I just didn't see how the sausage was made.
So next is we turn on this little device.
Anything else you could maybe put in there? Now that I'm seeing what's happening.
Yeah, I was like, this could be if you're a 20-year-old college student, this thing would be amazing.
This feels like a thing that you would sell as like a novelty product in a store where they wanted to sell such devices but not get in trouble.
And so what happens is it starts to suck the smoke into this box right here.
Maybe I could do it into like a gas mask.
Yeah.
Plug this in on one side.
So let's let it fill up a little bit.
All right. Like he's a little like, I need an Amazon affiliate link for this.
I know, it's like we're definitely giving it a lot of. I'm going to put a little bit more wood in here because it wasn't getting.
Yeah, medical device.
Getting it
for novelty purposes only.
It's funny how it just like come on, buddy.
What's it doing? It's just like a vacuum?
Yeah, it just like sucks it in.
I would think that it would can't you light it from this? Like, what does that trigger?
The trigger starts the motor, so you don't have to touch
I
anything.
see.
So it starts. All right, so you might be seeing some of the smoke come out of the sides
yeah.
and things right now. This point. So then it starts like it will leave some. Oh yeah. It's kind of hard to see maybe from that camera angle, but that thing is filled with smoke right now.
Yeah, what would you say? What is this? Homia? Is that
So this is the hard part. I put this on there. I found it like it might stop it a little bit. So I just let that kind of sit there for a second. Be careful of that. That's a hot end of it.
yeah.
And there we got some smoked whiskey, y'all.
And the at least at this point, the smoke alarm has not gone off in the house.
It is blowing it away from the smoke alarm. See, this is what we do before the show, is like creating these whiskeys. And so at this point, I'm going to move this out of the way.
Okay.
Because we've pretty much put out the fire. That little sucker right there. All right.
Nice. A story that Stealth Mouth is saying there's a story that inspired this gift.
Yeah, you want me to tell the story of that?
And hey, Gray Hat Zebra. Welcome.
Hey. Yeah, one of the things is we go to this freaking bar that specializes in like really expensive old fashions, and I wanted to go there because they smoke their old fashioned.
Yeah.
And I go in there and they not the greatest of service. I won't even dox
Get
the
into
bar.
this, sure.
But they basically go in and like, we've already waited like 20 minutes and we're the only ones at the bar. I'm like, how does it take this long to get served?
Right.
And then they're like, oh yeah, our smoker's not working. That's gonna be okay, right? And I'm like, no, I specifically came here for that smoker, and then made them clean it out. And made it
man,
work.
really?
So,
Nice. Okay.
So there we go.
Ooh.
Now we got some smoked whiskey, old fashions, and what it should do is it will give you kind of like a flavor set. Now to finish it off,
Okay.
you got to get the ice cubes.
Oh yes. And it really like only in that amount of time it absorbed enough smoke.
It leaves a little soot on the top of it.
Ow.
And so you may not. You'd have to have a good palate to be able to taste what that will be like. But
Adam's touching a lot of my drink there, but
it's sterilized. Don't worry about that.
it looks good. It looks good. I'm excited.
All right, so let that kind of cook for a second, and then
Yeah.
we'll be good in the good space. So I think that was kind of a test almost.
Yeah.
Of if we're gonna cook on the stream. I was thinking that could be a thing that we could do.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Is cook or make some kind of food or something.
Yeah. I'd be down for that. Talk about like staying awake and doing things, right? Having that. Okay.
I like. Do you make your own ice cubes for whiskey or whiskey? Oh, sorry, Gray Hat Zebra. So I think you put a link in the chat. For some reason, links will not drop in the chat because we had some folks. So
sorry. I'm like.
You already did the thing.
I want to hear.
Cheers.
Choose me. Okay.
I don't know if you can taste it. I can see on the top of it.
I feel like I can. I feel like part of it is just like you're breathing it in now from the room. But I feel like, because I've had really smoky whiskey and I don't like that. So I like a subtle.
So we did
thing of
a
that.
subtle version.
I love that because my father-in-law is he has some smoky whiskeys that he really loves, and I cannot handle them at all.
Yeah, because this doesn't like get and infuse deep into there. I'm sure if I left it in there for a longer time, it might. But at least this one, it adds like that. You're at the campfire kind of little flavor to it, and it's great. Hey, Gray Hat Zebra, those ice ball presses are expensive.
Are they?
They're like $1,000.
What is that?
It's those balls of ice that you put in your whiskey.
Yeah.
There's these ones that are completely clear, and the way that it makes it, you have to use like pressure to push it on, and it makes a thing.
I thought it like agitated the water or something. Isn't that a thing?
I can't remember what.
I thought that was like a cheaper one that you could get because it's bubbles in the water, and so if you have like really distilled water and then you agitate it, then you can freeze it and it'll like be gone.
Can you infuse that with other smoky plants? I'm pretty dang sure you can.
know that's a yeah. How is that not a Colorado bar thing at this point?
What was that thing called? It was a melt. It was a melt.
Yeah. Could you boil the water and then freeze it? I don't know.
Oh, to infuse the. Oh yeah, So I do boil the water and get it all cleared up.
Okay.
But one of the things too that I've been starting to. So these ice cubes are whiskey ice cubes. I have this big one that does that, but I've gone to a couple bars lately, and one of the things that I'm going to start doing is I'm going to take a slice of orange or lime and then like put it at the bottom of the ice cube and then put the ice cube in there so it has like an infused fruit
cool.
that you would typically mix in an old fashioned and make it
you have
really
orange,
fancy.
right? Because you like orange rind or something like that.
I was doing that when I was even more fancy. So
Even more fancy. You're saying you're going to ask them to do that for you, or you're going to bring your own orange?
No, I mean, people they do that at like fancy restaurants, and I'm just gonna start doing it for here. Because if you just cut up some like little oranges, put it together, it would be great. I want to look at this Meltdown whiskey ball.
Bougie.
It is bougie. See, okay, this one shows this is the one I was thinking about, and I'll show it on stream here. Let's
William Sonoma.
Yeah, we got an ad. Don't worry about this. Oh, wait, where the heck did it go? Oh, here it is. So this is what we're talking about.
Ice ball press.
It is like this thing, and wait, they even have a video.
The Cirrus Ice Press.
All right, we don't need it. We don't need to hear Kara. She's like, this thing is amazing. It makes ice out of ice.
Man, it just like sits on. What is it? It sits on your countertop. It makes ice, or you have to put that whole contraption.
So
into
that's
the
like a block of ice that you apparently shove into there.
You've already
you pre-iced it.
Pre-iced it,
and then
it just slowly crushes it into shape.
It does.
That's neat.
But I don't know if it's heating up or what the hell it's doing. There's this other one where you press it, and then apparently it's freezing it at the bottom.
A couple more whiskeys and we'll be messing with it and crushing my hand in it.
That's going to be the next.
Just like now put an orange underneath it and crush that.
It took a long time. It's apparently. I want to see what this looks like. Then you pull it out, and you got a ball of ice, everyone.
Yeah, but it's not clear.
Yeah, that one.
Couldn't you do that with any? Couldn't you do that with any ice?
Wait. She's doing something else. Yeah, it isn't clear. You got to boil the water before you put it in there. And she's like, then we'll put my urine in here.
Then we'll put my beaker.
my beaker of urine.
Delish. Take a drink.
Go for it. It's all spinning around. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought it was going to be clear, but I guess,
it should be. That thing costs $1,200. By the way, $1,209.95 to be exact. So
that does not seem worth it, I'm afraid.
If you get the wait, I love the name of this one. Hold on a sec. We got to show that on screen.
We could be having so many affiliate links right now.
We absolutely should be. What's the name of this one, folks? It's the Ice Baller.
Nice.
It's AliExpress, so you can get that much cheaper on AliExpress. What if this person? Oh wait. I'm gonna see this if they do it clear.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure they did. Oh no, see that? No, nobody. Oh, it does clear a little bit on it.
There's something about like the bubbles in the water. I heard.
Yeah,
if you
you gotta heat it up.
You agitate it and then freeze it. Anyway, all right. I feel like that's neat.
So you got to see
Fancy.
a smoked up, fancy old fashioned on the show.
Cheers.
It was a good thing. I enjoy my old fashions. This one tastes way better than the one I had earlier.
That's great.
All right, what's up next? Articles and insights of the day. So
yeah,
I was reading some stuff this week. I have Reddit that I have not been reading, but there was like 1 or 2 times Reddit pops up on my thing, but I've still been staying away from it.
Okay.
So I'm on Tildes, Lemmy, and then Slashdot, and there's one other that's out
And
there.
you need all like. Give me a 30-second recap of where you are and like, or a 1 minute recap on where you are in these things and like which one is.
So they all are something a little different. Some of
Okay.
them are all kind of have some similar articles, but one of the reasons that I appreciate it is it has an end to it. I get to the end and I'm like, oh, there, cool,
It's
I'm
not
done.
an
I'm
endless
done.
scroll. Yeah.
And then if you want to participate in a conversation on it, you absolutely can. You don't get buried because there's just not a lot of
Yeah.
people on the sites.
Sure.
And then it is kind of nerdish people on there, and for me, it seems to bubble up the top stories, some of
Okay.
the things that I wanted to see, and then you sub to some of these other areas. So I go through all of them. Kind of helps me diversify and not just be in one tunnel, so to speak.
Sure.
And then I also looked at LinkedIn because I was like, and that's such a terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's so terrible.
No,
like
it's not.
everyone is like, look at me. This is what you need to be a
Totally.
leader.
Oh, I know.
Do this thing, and you're just
Well,
like
and
no
our-
depth.
And
You do good stuff. Ryan's posts actually like hopeful things.
that's LinkedIn is sort of like the devil you have to deal with, right? Like that is where business people go to do businessy things. But I also agree that then just scrolling through LinkedIn's feed, you're like, blah. It feels like everyone's resume or something like that presented as an outward like manifestation of themselves.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's terrible.
Yeah, and
I mean, there's certain
there's
connections
certain
you
things,
make.
totally, and I've read interesting articles on LinkedIn that I have not seen in other spots. So I can't say it's like completely without merit, but it feels a little shallow and
Yeah.
a little like cringy, self-promotion-y.
I think that's
too
the thing I hate
much.
about it. It's like it's the shallow end of like everything is. Hey, if you read an in-depth book about all the ways to do this leadership thing, take the first paragraph of the book,
Right.
and that's what
And
everyone's
make that into
post
like a
is.
meme, and then like a
It's
like a
like-
businessy meme, and then write like 2 paragraphs about
It's-
it.
yeah, and
Have ChatGPT write two
ChatGPT do it.
to write 2
So, anyways,
paragraphs about it.
that's my. It was more than 30 seconds, but that's what I would run through. Is I go
All right.
through all these different areas so I can see a different thing because there's some AI things I look at for news and some other areas out there that are out there.
Do you pay for LinkedIn Plus or whatever?
I do not, and we had at our work legitimate a LinkedIn coach for
Yeah.
like to say like,
Totally.
is it worth it? And they're like, it's not worth it unless you're doing these situations, and then you should just get rid of it and continue with your free version of it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
You're like good because
Yeah,
I
because I don't want to do that. But what I was trying to do was just look at things that are happening with AI or other
Yeah.
kind of technology things, just keep up with all the business stuff. And so as I look at those things, I kind of help look at an aggregate of what's going on in the AI space. So this one I found, I can't remember which channel I found it on, to be honest with it. It's a Time article. And it says ChatGPT quit teaching AI essay. So it's basically this gentleman that maybe it was a female, I'm not sure which one, but they go into why ChatGPT has made them want to quit their job because of how AI has been developing. And so some quick backstory, 20 years, they've been going in and out of the classroom. They've been teaching. They teach specifically writing, literature, language, and mostly university students. So this is a university professor. And I think this is relevant. And the reason I bring it up is because
You were in education.
I work in education
Yeah.
and I hear these stories.
Totally.
And it is like, I cannot believe how much I could blow someone's mind with ChatGPT to this day.
Yeah.
Like there were some people that I went to a luncheon with and was like, hey, have you been using AI? And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, hey, check this out. And I pulled out Soul, like which we did last time on the stream.
yeah.
And I started talking to it and asking all these questions, and they were just like mind blown.
I love that.
It
I
was
love
amazing.
that.
And they're programmers.
You know.
I was like, how can you not use this? Anyways, going back to this, you pull it in, and this particular individual talks about all the details of why
Yeah.
they felt like this
Well,
was a thing.
why did you find this article interesting? Like, why somebody would want to like, what are the AI stuff? Is this person like foreseeing the future and being like, we should be getting out of the education business because AI is coming? Or do you think this is like a too far off thing or something? What made you interested in this?
I think it just plays into the stories that we've been talking about. Like, is it going to take your job? Is AI going to come in and wipe out your ability to do things?
It's like the same thing from a lot of the stuff that we've seen. Like, there was a talk on the Discord, right, of like even Disturbed coming in, and he's a graphic designer, and having people just bring him ChatGPT crap, and being like, it's just, is it going to be the thing that takes away my job? And this person's like position on it was also that it was hurting children too, right?
Well, and I think that's where I was getting to too, and I think that's what piqued my interest. To answer your earlier question is like, why did I want to look at this? And this is something I think about a lot. I watch my own kids, and as they grow, they're in this digital kind of atmosphere all the time.
Yeah.
And the depth that they get into, and like the TikTok stuff that there's constantly like draining them. Sometimes I'm like, man, like you're not experiencing the real world. It's starting to get to Wall-E,
Totally.
and that's where we're headed. So this one, they were just saying like, I've spent all my life learning how to teach and do all these things, and now this thing can come up and spit out an article.
Wasn't it more? Well, that's true. Like,
so,
the articles and things like that kids are using.
Right.
Because I feel like this article, what it wasn't doing was saying that it's going to take over teaching. It was more like it's affecting how the students are doing their work.
Right.
And so they don't, like, they're coming out less prepared and less able to. She focuses on, or he focuses on writing and like that sort of critical thinking around writing as part of it. And I don't know, like, what do you think? What do you think?
No, see, so that's where I get into the depth of why I picked it. Is what it's saying is there is a cognitive kind of effort that goes into creating something from scratch and research and collecting resources that then you have to compile and put together. So it's like the process.
Yeah.
As you put things together, you start to learn things in a different way, and you understand how things interconnect.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to ChatGPT and you just put it in and it spits out the paragraph for you,
Right.
you miss a step of that growth.
Totally.
So here's my counter to that, though. I'm like, good, maybe, because maybe that's going to enhance your cognitive growth in a different way.
Yeah.
So you could take a farther leap, and now you just use this as a tool
Yeah.
to get to whatever the next step is that we're trying to get to. And so I think academics, and this is my hot take on it, is academics don't like AI because it democratizes the ability to write and to learn and to do things that used to be locked into like this elite club of people that used to be able to do that.
Rich, like
sometimes even not even rich,
educated.
just like there's an intellectualism, which I'm not downing that. Like I think it's important that we have people that think that way. But what this does is it changes it, so those jobs are a little bit different.
Well, and like part of it that I was looking at that in that democratization of that, which is kind of just spreading it out more. It feels like that's how we thought of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like if you could have Wikipedia, right? Or you could have the entire world's, thing, but you still had to sort of gather it yourself, right? Like you still had to go out and sort of get it and think about what you're going to do and bring in those resources and sort of then put out your own ideas towards it. So it's like the next step in sort of having that all is like, now not only is it out there and I could search for it and I could do whatever, like I have a thing that can summarize it for me, right? Like and think about it all. Hey, Kylia. And once you have that, then that's just the next tool that you use, right? Is like now, because here's sort of as I was reading an AI generated summary of this article as opposed to actually reading the article. What I thought about it is I feel like she really prioritizes critical thinking with writing skills, right?
Right.
And like the way that you would get critical thinking and be able to do that is like using writing skills to like think about something and then put it down onto your version of like how that is. And I just think with large language models, like that is sort of your ability to communicate that idea in like a, you know, like having it where it has all the grammatical things with it and it flows nicely and you can read it well and you can understand it. Like that part of it is going away because the AI can do that, right? And so where does the critical thinking then come from? Which is sort of like what you were saying. You're like, now critical thinking needs to come from some other side of this, which is context or bringing larger things together, right? And now just like internet was a tool that you used, now the AI is a tool on top of the internet that you use to do better and bigger things.
I think you're hitting on the point. I think that's what you're going. And like Gray Hat Zebra says, like, is it just another calculator? Is it that? I mean, it is, and it's on steroids. It's another bigger leap and an exponential leap into the future. And so I think it's the fear I get people get into is that change is hard, change is fearful. That's something that what we're saying. You know, Mike Azul talks about it. It resets the concept of a skill, and so it's making everyone reassess what they need to do. Like I always think about when Photoshop first came out, or my first ability to integrate with it as. It was like a Photoshop Elements. I don't even think that's what it was called at the time. And it didn't even have layers. But I started in Paint.
Right.
And then I got to this one and I was like, this is going to change the world. Like, this is amazing. And I started like using it more and more. But then every iteration and every layer or every depth that it gave to me, I was like, oh my God, I got to relearn it. I got to relearn it and relearn it and relearn it.
Yeah.
So if you have that growth mindset.
That's true. You have to. The problem with Photoshop and that analogy is that took 30 years, right? Between what Photoshop was when it first came out, when we were like seniors in high school or whatever, and 25 years ago, let's say.
Sure.
And so then to say like, and now it's to this, right? And you're like, great, because I got to slowly work up through that and businesses got to adapt it and things like that. The problem is with like your analogy of like going and talking with people who haven't even done it, like there are probably times in maybe not, but like I could see people in their career being like, I didn't spend a couple of years sort of keeping up with the newest trends, but whatever, I'll catch up at some point, right? Where like now the entirety of like the breadth of the internet change on what society is and was 30 years, say, or 25 years. And now it's going to be compressed into 5 years. And so if you take off time at the beginning of that, not caring about it, you're going to have a harder time catching up.
I see, just like the catch up. Well, I mean, just use AI to catch you up really fast. but like AI started the concept in like, 1960s or even before that. And so the thing that's hilarious to me is AI in the ways that we are seeing it and integrating with it have already been there. Like we've been using it when we use search engines.
Totally.
We use it when we've used little things that like do some transactional AI or some analytical AI. Like it has been in the peripheries. We just never called it AI.
Well,
now it's generative.
We didn't until it spoke our language, right? Because like it was speaking data language and that kind of stuff behind the scenes, very narrow. And then it started to speak like we speak. And then we were like, holy shit, AI is here.
So I guess the wrap on this concept is that I thought it was interesting because I see this polarization at this point. And I think it's the folks that have grown steadily. And there's a lot of books and other things I've read about early adopters, and then there's like this middle, and then there's these laggards. And essentially, I think we're on some of the early adopter side of the house. We got into it early, or at least earlier than some, and we've been like,
give me a break. We are at the tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear. We were like first on Dolly, y'all.
We were Dolly, beta, putting in our fun little ridiculous
as a funny story. On a social media network, I had posted like how this was going to change back in the day.
Oh man, nice.
And I got reams of like, AI isn't going to be anything and none of this stuff. Fun. And it was like, and it was when it was just like ChatGPT didn't hit those milestones yet, and like I didn't even go back to that chat. I'm like, you guys,
exactly.
Didn't even
that age like milk, right?
So as you look at this, I'm just thinking that the frustrations people have, some are gonna opt out, some are not gonna want to be part of it.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is you gotta start thinking about how it might fold into what you do. I think we're in a weird position because I can't speak to my kids at this point, because we got to see this stuff before there was this kind of stuff in their life.
but they got to see stuff before AI.
That's
Like
true.
that will be their
Before
thing.
AI.
That will be their thing. That will be their internet, right? They'll be like, Dad, how did you ever get along without Susie, our house AI that we use all the time for everything? Oh my God, you had to look things up. It was ridiculous. You used a keyboard?
Think about how we shaped AI though as humans because of all the like media and stuff. Like, remember, that's crazy.
100%. Like I'd read an article that said basically like Star Trek and people being into Star Trek and learning about Star Trek like influenced technology because those geeks were the ones who came up with a bunch of the stuff that now is like our society of technology. And so they're like, they just sort of thought about it in that way of how Star Trek worked. It was like a huge influence.
I think so. As we start to think about this is never going to end. And I'm glad we got to the philosophical rabbit holes of the Terminators coming. I bring it up on occasion, but these articles are more pragmatic on like some of the struggles that people see. And I think from a writing teacher's perspective, if you have an old hat on what writing is and the cognitive kind of understanding, and being able to say like, hey, they're not able to take it to this like one. The check mark that we used to assess people by means like, okay, well, guess what? That's changed.
Yeah. You used to assess people with language.
Yeah.
Right. And your ability to craft language around an idea. And now I think that has been taken over. So how do you test people? How do you judge if someone has critical thinking? It's tough.
And that's what we're going to see. Higher education has traditionally lagged behind in a lot of that. So
all right, we have 13 minutes. I want to get
oh
to
my
this
god,
last
we're
one.
at 47 minutes into this.
13 minutes.
We're going to be playing Drawful. Get your phones out in a little bit here. It's not right away.
Get it ready. We got 13 minutes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so Adobe Max was this week. If you don't know what Adobe Max is, Adobe, all the creative entire cloud. This is where they come together once a year and they show off a bunch of things. They have been leaning in heavily to AI. And so one of the things that they came up with that I thought was like really interesting was, I was trying to get into it, but it didn't happen. The beta for their Firefly, which Firefly is kind of their moniker for their AI stuff. And Firefly had their text to video come in, and it was like, sign up for the beta. And I don't know when the beta hits for the public, but it didn't happen in time for this show. But so we're waiting on that. But they did release some stuff for Premiere, which is like extending video clips. So imagine you had a video clip and you were like, oh, I wish it just went like, I don't know. I'm sure this has happened to you, Adam.
Oh,
you have a video clip, right? And you're like, I need to fade it to the other video clip or something, And you're like, I wish I just had 2 more seconds of this video clip that I could do. Now in Premiere, you could just be like, just generate that last 2 seconds. Just give me that last 2 seconds. Because then it could fade out, right? It doesn't need to be perfect at that point. Like, it could just be whatever. So that was a cool thing that I've been playing with. Now, the stuff that I thought was super interesting was some of this.
Should we watch one of these?
Yeah, like I would go to the first one because
have you ever felt like animation was too hard for you to learn?
No, I don't think that's the first one.
What that was?
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah, there's some people talking on a bench.
Number 3, just
okay. You can. So I think you can mute this. It was weird because this whole session of showing stuff, they have Aquafina on the stage with them. And Aquafina obviously doesn't know crap about like any of this, but she's a comedian. And so she does her best to sort of like go, yay, you art nerds. This is fun. But what this does is this shows off some of what Adobe is thinking about, like of how they're going to use AI in their products. And these are the things that are sort of coming forward. So this one hit me, like in my heart, of course. Like as soon as something comes out that actually like affects how you do your thing of like stuff, you're like, oh man,
give me some hot takes on this.
That's an extra blow to me, right? Because I was an animator. I went to school for animation. That's what I went to SCAD for. And like, this is sort of motion graphics animation, which like I didn't, but like, just as soon as this starts doing stuff like this. But anyway, what this is taking vector graphics that they have and basically doing in-betweens, right? People have done that before and lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
But like now take this, right? Take this shape and morph it into this shape. And that's basically what they're doing. But what they're doing that's super cool is like the AI side of it sort of goes, oh, do you want that as like a swirly paint, like animation into it? Do you want me to like break it apart and bring it back together? Like these are all sort of little like, templates.
And those are
or whatever that you
PNGs.
can put
Like you
on
can
there.
see that in the.
Is it? I assumed they were all.
Look in the lower left. It says they're PNGs.
Man. Well, I mean, they can say they're PNGs, but like those are very graphic.
Well, I'm sure
and
they made it,
vector,
but but the implications that those are actual vector are.
Well, and so part of this that is cool, and I don't even know, we can fast forward through some of this, but it's almost like after he gets the cool, like, so it sort of blends together, is then you say like, okay, now just add some kind of kick-ass effect to it. And so once you get this version of it, it's like, yes, this is the logo, and it goes into a thing. Then you bring it into AI and you go, now make that all watercolor and crazy, right? Or now make that like brick all coming together or something. And I thought that was really interesting, right? It's like you can figure out that initial animation that you want, see where it like swoops in together, right? So it's like building itself and then swoop in the art from it. And then you're like, now on top of that, now add, this sort of effect to it. And it did, we had a discussion in the Discord with Disturb Shifty about some of this, right? Of what is art? Is it being taken away? Like, is it being commodified in a way to where now anyone can do this sort of like cool visual effects on things? And it, it's less about technical ability to create a logo like that and more about just like explaining what you want, which is hard, right? So here's the watercolor effect of that same thing, and in some ways it's like a filter. It almost to me looks like a filter at that point, but it's a damn good filter. Look at those paint splash
that
ones.
one is a good
one.
one.
How badass is that, right? And just doing that with like a little bit of art skill, like of knowing when things to go.
It's
like
democratizing,
but it's 100% democratizing it. And we were even talking a little bit about like that is probably what a lot of jobs are going to be going forward. Is like the AI is doing 90% of it, right, or 80% of it, and you're sort of like the expert that kind of massages it into place. Like that's kind of almost what I hope is happening, because then at that point, everyone still has jobs. There's still some kind of hierarchy that keeps society together. And you're like, all right, everyone can sort of have a little job still, but maybe just more time at home or more time with community or more time with that kind of stuff.
More time to be a slave and send your money to us.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like if it just becomes a corporate, hellscape nightmare, maybe that's true. But
I got to say that this is, I mean, it's amazing. And as I think about you,
should we watch the other one?
I don't know. You tell me, should we?
Yeah. Well, keep talking. Because I want to like,
Y'all want to see sneak number 4?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to say this has been really thrilling.
It's been thrilling, everyone.
It's been thrilling.
Very thrilling.
Aquafina is thrilled to be there.
She's like, I have no idea what's going on right here. But
she's
there's
like,
a lot of lights and I'm getting paid.
And there's
some money.
arcade cabinets, which is fun. Set decoration.
I didn't know Aquafina existed other than a water. Delicious water.
She does voices. That's like her big. I mean, she's sort of a movie star at this point too.
What is her most famous movie?
There's probably some
Not
kind of adventurous
famous
thing.
at
There's probably Aquafina is famous. She is like a famous comedian.
All I know is that I drink some Aquafina
Little
on
Mermaid,
occasion.
Little Mermaid,
Like
Aquafina.
the original Mermaid?
No, she's like 25. She was probably a toddler.
I
when
never
that came
watched
out.
the new Little Mermaid.
She was the funny like seagull from the original. Anyway,
Wait, from the original what?
the original Little Mermaid.
Like the original. She was how old was she when? Wait,
I don't know. That's what I was saying. She's not that. She's not the original one. She's in the remake. She is the character
I never
of
watched
the
the remake.
seagull from the original.
Never watched it.
Okay, well, like that is a Marvel movie. Shang-Chi. What was that one? The like fully Asian cast. That one was great. I loved all of those. Okay. This one I think is dynamic music creation.
Oh, I wanted to. I got
No, like I don't even think it's music creation. I think it's like special. Like,
look at that.
so it comes up with what the audio is going to be by looking at the film that you have. Basically.
Wait. Did they put that in their AI?
Yeah, I'm sure that's AI, right? That's just Firefly AI video.
That's sweet though too. They didn't
Totally.
even go over that.
Yeah, well, like they did some, but like we could have, if we checked, maybe we should check, but
It looks like the AI and those little grates on there.
yeah,
Not 100%.
totally.
So.
No,
They're-
you could tell it's AI for sure. But what it does is it goes like, okay, look at this scene. Woo, 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 woo. Like it needs like a UFO taking off
Should
and
I-
water
should I
playing on
listen
the
to it?
ground.
Well, spaceship isn't coming up, but it recognizes the spaceship as my subject. So now I can hover over it, and when I
Oh wait. I want to hear the noise. I want to hear the whoop, 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 whoop. I think yours might be better, Ryan, but just to say.
Just in case.
Yeah. Well, look how long we'd have to wait. Oh, here it is. Here it's going up, right there. Let's see.
Wait, play it with unmuted though.
All right, here we go. Damn.
sweet, we've got.
And you know what?
liftoff.
And part of that is like
So
But he went through a bunch of that to make that happen. That's
my
crazy.
spaceship is.
But part of that is almost like, oh yeah, for high-end stuff you would want a real thing. But for just sort of storyboarding things and throwing
I
stuff
don't know.
in there,
Like, I think I've seen crappy movies that do that.
that are worse than that you watched in a theater.
So this is like the start of us being able to get to the point where we can make custom made things. Like, how many times did you watch a movie or read a book and you're like, oh God, I want to watch the movie. Here's an anecdote. Not that I would go do this particular one, but before Avengers was the thing, before all the Marvel movies came out and all that, I remember there was like they were like, oh, we're going to make an Avengers movie. And they had the crappy Hulk and the awesome Iron Man out,
Right.
like at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And they had this animated Avengers that was out. And I remember watching it and being like, this is sweet. Like, I want to watch the live version. This is going to be so good. And, like,
Nice.
of course, it ended up happening.
Yeah.
But at the time, people will be like, I want to make a crazy superhero movie that does this thing. And they go and they make it happen. And you can do that with some of this stuff now.
Like
Your own customized versions of what you would expect.
well, everything is going to be customized to my particular preferences, right? That's what the future of entertainment is maybe general ideas of storylines, and then you're like, oh, it's really hammering in Ryan and Adam's like, pleasure zones of this type of thing with this level of nostalgia and all of that stuff. So I feel like that is coming in a few years.
it is. You know what I was also thinking?
Yeah.
We're talking about the nice end of AI. What's happening all in the dark web and the
Oh,
other
nice.
sides of AI? We don't ever talk about that.
Yeah.
But
right,
you
like-
know stuff is going on that other side.
Well, I mean, there's open, like literally Facebook has a Llama, which is an open source software, right? Anyone can download that. Anyone could have that running on crazy supercomputers in the, who knows, like the tunnels below North Korea. Like God only knows where all of that stuff is going. Like, man, I know.
North Korea, I don't know. Do they-
Maybe not North Korea and their like 1980s computers. I mean, all you need is an internet connection for a lot of that stuff. Like,
For sure.
I mean, I think North Korea probably has some pretty sweet internet connections, if I had to guess, to the main castle guy.
Maybe to him, but not to the rest of the society.
So that's all that
So-
matters, because he's the one who's going to finance, building the super AI computer.
Which I don't think happens. I don't want to get in politics because they sent a bunch of North Koreans to Russia and the whole thing
yeah,
that's going
no,
on
that's
there.
right.
But we're not going to talk about
No,
that.
hey,
nah.
I want part of our 24-hour stream to be a also go out and vote stream.
All right, go vote.
Like,
Do your vote.
because that'll be what 3 days before the U.S. elections.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna be nervous.
I'm down about saying go vote, but I'm not going to go
No,
into one way
totally.
or another. I'm just going to say go do your vote.
I'm not saying that.
It's
It
not a
feels like
political stream.
It's not a political stream. Everyone should be voting.
Yeah, we just keep that. Hey, so if you're interested at Double Drop Down and you want to join us at some point in the future, it is going to be happening November 1st.
November 1st.
And
Friday.
we're going to start at
Friday night.
9 o'clock. Is that where
9
we're
o'clock
planning
Friday
to do it?
night. Yep. To 9 o'clock Saturday night.
There it is. There's an Extra Life stream page. You can read about what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this very soon here.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the show, is us planning it. So if you want to give feedback and you want to see what we're going to do during this time and have, a say in it, stick around.
Did Mike Azul just get you? They took the word shit out of Mike Azul.
Oh man,
I think you're.
Or did he self-censor? He could have self-censored.
He could have self-censored, but he's a mod, so you can change that if you wanted to.
Is he? Nice.
All right. So
all right. Are we going in the other room?
So I'm gonna practice. Tonight is about practicing transitions and all this other stuff.
Damn is okay. You can say damn.
Yeah, you can say. I self-censored. That
Oh,
was really
nice.
kind of.
That
Okay,
was
so
kind
here's
of
a
you.
question.
It's PG-13.
How did you think about the bar out here tonight? This is the first time we've done it.
We're standing.
When we did it last year, you do not know the jank that even got us to even
The duct tape
work
was
out
holding
here.
this together. That Adam told me.
It took a year for me to get this going. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is I wanted to make sure we could I made the set in the other room in the studio. And one of the problems
Nice.
was I was like, can I make this happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is a reproduction of the studio. So now I know that if the studio broke, we can get back into the stream. I was nervous about that.
Nice.
If we broke.
Stealth Mouse reconfirmed her love, and as if
yeah.
she was remarrying you. Which I do.
I do.
Because
Thank you,
she
baby.
saw the awesomeness of the bar. Of the bar scene.
Skycam. I like that. You know what? We're gonna have to play with that. So there was the Skycam right here. We
Cheers.
Can see, yeah, cheers. I already drank mine. I'm drinking
Already
water
drank
now.
yours,
Right now.
You
alky.
lush.
Well, what we could do with this too is we can play.
Cool.
We could play games. We can play board games in
Yeah.
here.
Well, that'll be super important for this live stream too, because I want to be up and moving.
I like that it doesn't reverberate. One of the things I want to say, this was my birthday present, is I made the entire setup and I still had the old mics. And I was playing with them and it was absolutely doing that. I touched the bar and it would make this and I was like, God, that sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm doing it. Amazoned it and I was like, done, bye. And then I went right to bed that night. I was like, I'll just have that buyer's guilt in the morning. And so I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna use the hell out of this, I think, later on
Totally.
for
That feels
news.
great.
You can see the news. We can share things. It's the thing we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the bar. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over in there. You're
Okay.
gonna turn off your mic in a second so
I'll
we
stay
can try
here.
the transition.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get your phones out because we are going to play Drawful tonight.
Nice.
We're
I
doing
think so.
Drawful? All right, we're
That
getting
one's
Drawful.
always fun.
All right.
All right. Adam's unplugged. Not just 4 headphones. What the hell? What kind of shoddy? There should be 2 headphones for out here. 2 Sony branded Studio Cup headphones out here, and then 2 in the other room. What kind of? Do you see what I have to deal with here, people?
You know what else too is I can hear everything Ryan's
God damn
saying
it!
out there.
I mean, man, God, place is sweet. Love you, Adam. You're the man.
All right, so we're going to bring Ryan over here. You got to turn your mic off. And we are in the studio. Welcome to the studio, Double Drop Down. So we got to get ourselves ready on the stream. Now I got to reacclimate myself to how to operate everything over here. We're going to play some Drawful. Yeah, I don't know what he just said, so I didn't miss it just for a moment out there. So, hey, we got 8 streamers or listeners tonight. Let us know in the chat who else is out there who has not been participating. We'd like to see some participation. When we get to the 24-hour stream, this is going to be intense. Ryan, I watched our slap last time. I got to tell you.
Oh man, I have that as my one of my main 1 second a day videos.
Really?
That's
I
the
was
one
like,
that gets the most.
You gave me a fairly decent slap on the first one.
On the
like,
first one.
How I kind of want to like up our game on how hard we're gonna slap each other. Like,
Well,
will you slap me hard and I'll
no,
slap you hard?
I feel let's talk about that during the time when we're talking. Is that when I thought we were doing Drawful, not talking.
I thought we were gonna talk that. I had to wait for the thing to load. You know,
ChatGPT and I have been brainstorming about this quite a bit.
Oh, Ryan has some insights on what this is gonna be about.
Yeah,
I'll give you some
Did you hear that Google? As we get this started,
yeah.
One last final article came out today. Google LM, the notebook, the one that makes podcasts, right?
Yeah.
Of anything that you put in there, now has a thing where you can adjust what the podcast is about. You can do a bunch of things. You can be like, so I haven't played with that yet, but that is out right now, and I'm definitely going to play with that because that is super interesting, making a podcast for you and then also saying like, hey, just focus on this section of it, or like make it this long, or put prompts in front of it. That is so cool. I can't wait.
I mean, it is pretty fantastic that we can do these things.
Yeah, so cool.
We're gonna play Drawful. You know what we're gonna do? I want to see if we can get some other folks. I scared some people away because I was like, "Hey, who's out there?" And like,
who's out there? And they were like, "Not us."
They're like, "Oh my god, they're talking to me!" No.
All
right. I want to get the other the new Drawful that's out there, the dirty edition. I should do that. We're gonna do that for the full stream. So let's switch over to Drawful for a second. I think people like our bar conversation.
People, you're saying for the 24-hour stream.
For the 24-hour stream, we're gonna be playing some of these things as we go along, so it should be fun. But this is a crowd favorite. We like to We like to interact with you. So if you want to do some Drawful, we're gonna give you a second here. I'm never the host because I'm always pushing buttons and stuff.
Pushing buttons.
All right, gotta get myself ready to go here. Drawful. Oh wait, I literally put the word Drawful into my search. Damn.
Stealth Mouse in, Mike Zool, Becky in.
Oh crap, Jack Bach. I am going to create a freaking... Don't start it, everyone. Adam's having problems typing right now.
That makes sense.
You're like, you can make this whole setup, but you can't type a freaking... I put it on the stream as though others can jump in. So let's give them just a second if they can get in. Give them an extra second.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can get at least one other person to play with us today. Got Becky. It's looking great. You got the fart sound. Of course you did, babe. All right. I'm going to do what I feel like this week. Hello!
Oh, a Halloween one from Becky. That's nice.
All right, I'm still drawing.
This is the normal crew.
I like the normal crew.
Totally.
We have some good crew.
Yeah. These are always fun. I look forward to the Drawful, or to just any of these Jackpot games when we play them.
Almost got my drawing, folks. Don't worry about me.
Oh yeah. Can we get? I'm about to put everyone's in and make you an X.
Oh.
Nice.
Ooh, cute little stealth mouse. So on the stream, did I update it? I think I did. I said we were on Drawful to see if we can attract someone.
Yeah, who wants to play with a bunch of noobs?
Yeah, they'll be like, oh my god, I like Drawful. Like how many's a Drawful? If you're out there and you're watching us and you're like, huh, should I play this? You should.
Just know that absolutely you should.
So when we do the thing, play. Wait, who's the player? We're gonna give it just one more second. Doesn't work.
They can be in the.
They can do the thing. All right, fine. We're gonna play it out. We're gonna get a full load one of these days.
Yeah, I agree.
This is Drawful. You know what 5 players is great for? A 2-round game. Let's get going.
Like your screaming guy. It's great.
Throwing up confetti.
Devices. Weird stuff. Like Greek chorus or recumbent bike. Draw a picture on your device that would have that title. And when you're done, hit send. You'll get points for each player that can correctly guess your title. So, go! Do it!
Am I, like, what are we, halfway through? Do I have to do more than one?
You done already?
Almost.
Only 30 seconds left to finish your drawing. Maybe you should just hit send now so you don't take too long and miss your chance.
Freaking Rembrandts.
All right,
All right,
your
it was
drawings
hard.
are in. Let's take a look. Now, take a wild guess at what the prompt for this title could be.
Hello.
Here are your choices. Which of these titles do you think really inspired this drawing?
Ooh, this is tough. Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Who picked what?
Damn it!
Scary movie.
They looked like there was a scary.
Oh,
Good
like they were
job,
chewing their
Stealth
nails.
Mouse.
Okay. Yes.
Good job.
All right. Good one. Good one.
I didn't know how to spell toenail.
My foot fetish got nowhere. I feel like there'd be more licking.
Yeah, they were
And
probably
now,
true.
another drawing. Type in a title now. Come on, typing time is almost up.
This is a complicated one.
And here are your choices. Picks. And here are your picks.
Yeah, suckers.
Damn. Olympic runners.
Because it looks like Olympic lanes, but I can see it's hot bowling. No, it's not. Oh my god, good job, Stealth Mouse.
Floating bowling ball.
Spent a lot of time on that one, Ryan.
I did. For not much gain, but somewhat. Ah.
Good
Bump
job,
down,
y'all.
Bump down to third.
I'm still in last place, y'all.
Type in a convincing title now.
Jesus. Hello.
Hey, I'm serious. Time is up. Okay, here are your choices.
I don't think I got mine in. Hello.
Let's see what people picked.
Oh, good job.
Oh, it wasn't that.
Damn, it
Nice.
wasn't that. Man. Good
Wow.
one. Becky cleaned up. I bet she's in first place now. 250 or 2,500? Dang. And a 2,700?
Becky,
Crushing it.
killing
this
it
game.
tonight.
Put in your titles now.
Oh.
Hello.
These are fun because you're like, what can I type in
type
that
in
would be like
anything.
feasible enough, but like get this crowd to pick it?
Yeah. We've really known each other
Yeah.
these
And
last few
here
ones.
are your choices.
Oh man.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay, who picked what?
Suckers!
Hello.
Yeah! Damn it! Adam got me.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Becky.
You needed like little notes coming out of it.
No, that was clear. The mouth open was sold it. It sold it. Good job, Becky.
Man, getting crushed.
Let's take a look at our next drawing.
What? You're freaking drawing at him.
Hey, how would you know?
Obviously.
What? No way. Fake news. Hello.
Here are your choices.
Hello.
And here are your picks.
Oh.
Yes.
Damn you.
Yes.
Higley. Yeah, come on. There's my peeps out there.
Yeah.
Higley's know.
I knew it. He knew it.
Because there was no switch. There was no
Yeah.
double heads.
No,
there was only one.
There's only one head.
Damn.
Oh, I got up to second.
Your next round of drawing prompts.
All right, here it
That's
is. This is the
ties,
finale.
This is freaking impossible.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine is very hard.
Jesus criminy.
My goodness. What am I to do with such a prompt?
Drawings in.
This is the hardest prompt I've probably ever had.
Next up,
Hello.
Oh.
hey, I'm serious. Time is up. And here are your choices.
Hello.
Man, it's tough.
Choose something.
Such a ridiculous
Oh.
drawing.
And here are your picks.
Y'all are the biggest chumps.
Hello.
Yeah, they're laying bricks.
Damn
it.
Oh,
Oh yes, yes,
Well, good job. You got that.
Oh, I got that one. Give my 200 bonus. Oh, 100.
Becky's still at the
Oh,
top.
she's still 2,000 ahead of me.
Killing it.
She's really got to fall down on some of this.
Type in a title now.
Oh.
I don't know why they feel like they needed to reduce themselves to such vulgarity.
I was listening to one of our
Hurry up,
streams. I was
people,
like,
just
man,
type something
who's
in."
been burping on our stream? I was like, oh,
And
that's the
here
game.
are your choices.
Oh.
And here are your picks.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll take it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Too much like bacon.
It's cooking bacon. That's it.
No, that's not it.
What?
No. How am I supposed to do frittata? How am I supposed to draw that?
What? That was
What's a
not
frittata?
bacon? What is a frittata?
A frittata is like a flat pancake type thing, it's hard to draw with your finger.
Oh, man. Yeah. I
Damn
know.
it! Adam moved ahead of me in that round.
Ah.
Son of a bitch. On my own drawing.
All right, let's do another one.
This was a hard round. I'm not gonna even lie.
Come on, typing time is almost up.
Hello.
Here are your choices.
Hello.
And here are your picks.
Damn
Oh,
it.
sea monkeys.
Good job. Yes. Thank you all.
There we go. There we
It
go.
was hard.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're monkeys. You let him out, and he's drooling.
Totally. Oh, I didn't get the drooling. I sort of thought it was like a weird hippie beard.
Oh, he was just like not good.
Damn it.
Lead on that one.
Type in a convincing title now.
Oh, mine won't let me.
Uh-oh. Mine either. Is everyone out of this? Oh, no.
What happened, Jackbox?
My last one was too good.
We're all gonna get like
I'm serious. Time is up.
All right, just
Like-
tell it out in the chat.
we got 5 seconds.
I was going to say crime scene.
Poop bed.
Okay, here are your choices.
All right, we'll just pick some of these.
A huge mistake. Oh, God, it's got to be... Yeah,
It's like pick the real one in between all of the AI ones or the default ones.
Oh, okay. Who picked what?
That's the one I picked.
Oh, Stealth Mouse.
Yeah,
We just gave it to you there. She's like, I'm going to take that and go to the top, y'all.
Oh man.
Brought it up. Becky, still up
man.
there.
Enter your titles now.
What the hell? We just don't even get to do this anymore?
Oh,
Oh no, okay, all right.
It does.
It came up this time.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to the other one.
Quick, type in anything.
Oh,
And here are your choices.
Hello.
It's good. There's some good ones in this one. Good job, everyone.
Yeah, it's a
Choose
tough
something.
one.
Yeah. Because it could be it could be any of the like a bunch of these.
And here are your picks.
You're welcome.
Nice. Good job.
Oh.
Good job.
No.
Yes.
I was a little unsure.
Everybody got somebody. Everybody got
Nice.
somebody. What is it? What is it? 1,000-piece puzzle.
Damn it! I almost picked it. Oh.
Exactly 1,000 pieces.
Ooh, sorry, Becky.
Oh, that's what we needed for Becky. Oh,
I'm
good
sorry.
job. Good
Just
job.
had to take it.
Good job. Love it.
I was staying at the bottom the whole time too. Oh, Ryan got the most likes.
likes.
Great job. As always, fun game.
Totally. Love
Of
that. Thank you, everyone, for playing.
Drawful.
That was great.
Expect a lot more of that during
Yeah.
the stream.
Oh,
We're
man.
gonna have
Well,
some Drawful runs for sure.
I was thinking we need to talk about what type of video games we're playing during the stream. I would love to like get some of that out. That was fun though. Good job. Good.
Yeah.
We need to we need a tally almost of who has won more.
Yeah, we
We
need to go back.
in
AI that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
That's
so
the perfect thing for AI.
that was fun, y'all.
Get us started for this next one while I use the restroom.
I will do that. I have a Amber Alert on my phone over here. I think we're good. Extra Life planning. I think that is where we're at tonight. So I have been planning. I got to tell you for Extra Life because we're gonna spend a lot more time doing Jackbox games. I think what I'm gonna try to do tonight. Probably not tonight, but we're gonna talk about it. It's with some of the games in Jackbox we might do it. There's Drawful. It's like the adult edition. And I heard it's not so bad that you can't stream it. So we might be getting that version of it, which gives you a lot more crazy prompts. So if that sounds like something you want to see or do on the stream, let me know. I want to kind of see what the name of it is. It's like Drawful for adults, I think it is. And is it Drawful for adults? Or I'm not sure if it was. So there's Drawful 2, but then there's it's the Jackbox Pack
for adults. So it has a couple other games in there that are so Pack 3 they say Pack 3 is the best pack overall, but there was a new one that came out recently. I was reading some things on it. I'll figure out what it is. We'll probably get that for the stream. One of the things that we do want to do is let's go take a quick peek at not Drawful anymore. Let's jump over here to this guy. So as far as our streams and articles, I have been spending some time on the internet realm trying to get ourselves ready to go for the Extra Life stream. So let me go back in time and let's look at what our stream said we had. Give me one too, sir, please. All right, this is Extra Life. Check out the stream agenda. Oh, did we have this link to Oh, we smashed our goal. Look at this. We should thank you, sir. We should look at our slaps. Where we got, so last year we killed the goal. So original goal was 1,000.
And we upped it.
We upped it to 1,200.
No, but it was 500 to begin with, and then we upped it to 1,000, and then we upped it to 1,250, and we got to 1,200.
Now I'm not sure this is gonna work this year, but somehow I got this YouTube video to be 23 hours.
I think it just cut it, right?
Like no, because the internet cut out, and so we'll see if we can run it to the end, but I feel like it would be great. Look at we did a bunch of TKOs.
Well, this is
the
slapping.
I want to see the slap. We got to give an in for the last part of the year. All right.
So good. You said we could do it. You said double it and put $1,000 up there.
Oh, we hit it.
Right.
This is right when we hit it.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at all the cheers.
Let me get to the slap
Appreciate
part.
your help. It was on the website too. Let me go and open that up.
2357.
You gotta pull it up, pull up on the YouTube thing, and then it'll let you do fine tuning.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
What?
So
I didn't know about these things.
It does on the web app at least.
Oh crap. There was a clip of us getting cut out of that. So.
Yeah, I think I clipped it at one point.
It is so fine tuned.
Because pull it up. So now
and I can
you
go
could just move through it. I taught Adam a thing.
Ryan taught me a thing. Holy crap! Did we slap each other?
Fine tuning, yeah.
Jesus, how long before we slapped each other on this?
I mean, this is 24 hours, so you're scrolling even one or a few minutes is a tiny little fraction of that.
Oh, it's even going to chapter 1. All right, let me. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. All right, there it was. The slap.
There we go, right there.
This is it right here. Wait,
it was literally we slapped each other and did it multiple times and then cut the stream. The triple slaps. Triple slap. 1,000 slaps? Or slaps? That was Phasmophobia Boo. That was Trenton. All right, you're going first. All right.
Oh, God. I slapped you first? I don't think I gave
Kathy
you
was in as Mrs. Slaps.
We're on camera here. Should we up a little bit higher? But I don't know. Okay.
We were done. Love how he sets the 3 glasses down. With Mike Azul back a year ago in the stream. Love this.
Hardcore. Appreciate you.
Oh, this is the second slap.
Stare you in the face while we do it.
This has got to be harder. I didn't know. I didn't want to knock you out.
No, because we have done multiple slaps at this point. We have been slapping each other all night, so we sort of know.
Pretty good with that slap.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not messing around with these slaps.
You got a red cheek.
Our cheeks are red. We've been doing this all night.
Oh, look at that
doing
slap.
20 hours of.
Last one.
Oh my God! Harder. Mike Azul wants to
My
see
face
violence.
is red.
Yeah,
because you can knock people out with a slap. The legit people do.
Last one.
Oh my God! This is ridiculous. Holy crap! That was all right. So that was it. So we're gonna have a slappening this year. Is that the question?
Right? Well, yeah, I was thinking about that. So we talked at the beginning of the show. I was I literally even asked ChatGPT. I was we did this slap bet thing. Like we did a slap thing for like I explained the entire situation, and I was like, we want to do something that's like sort of along those lines but not going to permanently hurt the other person, but it could be like, you know, a thing to rally people to certain levels of like a thing like that. And that's where they came up with the, you know, the rubber band snap, which I feel like is good, especially if you did it like neck rubber band slap or certain and I feel like slaps need to be on there again, like as an opportunity. And if we go to the Trello, there's a couple other ideas.
All right. Well, okay. What let me do this. Let me.
Yeah. Should we talk about Extra Life a little bit?
Well, no. I think in.
Oh my god. No.
Oh, ow.
You're like, that is if we raise $1 million.
Yes, I will take one to the eye if we got to 50,000. Make
Nice.
it even more
Nice.
legit.
Love it.
No, I want to show you this
That's
part.
fucked up.
There's our one for the night. All right. So here's the thing. Is we can set milestones and look at I got 1,000, the slappening 2.0.
Nice. Like the
so
slappening.
we can create
slappening.
milestones, and that's
Yeah.
what we need your help tonight is what are the milestones and
Totally.
what are we going to do, and we can add them in there
Yeah.
as we raise certain amounts of money. So that would be one thing.
That's fun.
I think that's a cool thing we can create. And then here's what we did last year. Here was basically
Okay.
our rundown. We had Mike Azul on the show with his Raspberry
That's
Pi.
right. That's right.
So we had some board games. I don't think
gaming with the boys. Remember when your kids came in?
yeah,
and they played?
we had so many little things that we tried to do on the stream. So we got to figure out what those things are.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can get to it again. Like I always get nervous about it.
Totally.
Honestly, like who the hell's going to watch us and ever going to get to that? But I'm down. I'm doing
and
for the children.
You know, one of the things too is like we were at the end of a project basically, and we were almost in between projects at this point. Like
Yeah.
we had finished up the board game, but this time we are fully in. And so I would love to part of it be like working sessions when no one is around, right? Like the 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. time slot or something like that. I would love to have like working sessions. So we can plan this all out. I added some interesting things
trying to be
to the
smooth.
Trello, and you're just like making me nauseous.
I
by
didn't
how
make
much
this
these-
sweet one in this room. I only did it in the bar room. So so let's do this. Let's do the rundown of this what we did last year, and then let go in the Trello.
Yeah.
Because then we can kind of like remember what it was.
I
like.
love this. Let's look through this and reminisce, and we'll see what we want to keep from any of this. I feel like the first few, yes, we should definitely be explaining what Extra Life is and doing a deep dive on it. I feel like that's every year.
You got it. You got to talk.
You gotta talk about it. You gotta get excited about the thing that it is. Like that, I feel like all of those,
All right.
all of that,
Taking notes.
9 to 10 is very similar.
9 to 10.
Oh, or except 3D print starting for board game. But I do think having something printing for 24 hours straight that maybe we assemble at the end or build towards, and we're building parts of it and we don't tell everyone what it is, or I don't know exactly what the 3D printing is, but I feel like having a 3D print that comes out and we like reveal it at the end of the 24 hours is a cool thing.
I love it. I
Okay.
love that we're gonna 3D print something, because like there could be a couple versions. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things that I can print for 24 hours, and we just not say what it is, and at
Sure.
the end of it,
And I think it would be cool if we assembled it, right? Like if you didn't tell everyone what it was and it just sort of looked like pieces of a thing, and then we would be
that's
like
a lot of
talking
planning.
about it and doing it. But aren't there models like that? Like
we got to design it, Ryan.
Oh my
That's got to be
God.
so sweet.
I don't
no,
know about
just
this.
just as a side anecdote, like I love that idea of that. There was this guy that spent multiple months like building this thing, and he was gonna have this big reveal with his friend of what he was building. And his whole thing is he built this little office under his staircase. And so then he was supposed to call it, and there's like a famous guy, and he was like, "Hey, guess what I built under my staircase?" is what he was supposed to say. And then, and I'm just saying, like, I could see
Okay.
us doing this, and so he basically called the guy, and he's like, "Guess about the office that I built under my staircase, what it is."
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He's
Oh,
like,
man.
so he just like totally messed it up.
No, I
so,
can see that.
anyways, with the 3D printing, it'd be cool to like. I
That's
like
a slap.
I
That's
like
a slap if you
mess it up.
I love the idea of
punch.
building. Like, remember when we played Beer Diet and we would build up rules as you go.
Oh yeah, that's a slap.
And that would be a slap, or things would be slaps, or stuff. Like would things would happen during it. I like the idea of building up rules that you have to follow throughout the 24-hour stream that we take away and we add and we do things, and like that when you hit milestones, or you like, I feel like a lot of it needs to be hitting milestones, because that's how you get people to like, I'll give $10 more because I want to see those idiots do a thing.
Well, and one of them was every time I yawned, and I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Well,
I
feel like that could be like a rubber band snap, right?
Oh.
Or something, And so we're just like neck rubber band snapping every yawn,
straight to the nuts.
like rubber band snap to the nuts,
squealing,
self-administered.
Oh God, you have to watch it, like stretch it out and watch. All right, so that would be terrible. I don't know about that one, but we're gonna do some rules during the stream. That's what I wrote. So right now we have 9 to 10 hype stream, 3D print something for 24 hours.
That's also fun.
Oh God,
I didn't say it. I didn't say that word. That was.
Hey, that would be your throat, right?
Yeah,
that's your throat.
That's totally.
That just made
Adam's
me like
apple, like basically Adam's apple slap or rubber band snap.
You like insert a trachea.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
All right.
Not that. Okay. Next.
I do think we should be doing some gaming during this.
All right.
Right. So we had Mr. Gaming and things like that.
Retro gaming?
I think retro gaming needs to be part of this, because they're games that we wanted to play. We have previous ones where we didn't get to things at the end, and they're games that we should be playing for like research for the game project that we're doing.
So it talks about AI music in here.
Yeah, that was like an old thing, right?
But no. I think this is a thing. I'm going to show you something really quick right now. So I went to it. Is it Suno? Sora?
Yes.
Suno. So I went.
No, wait.
We've
the ChatGPT.
No. It's there is a different AI out there that creates music, and so here's the deal: is we keep getting copyright, quote unquote, like, hey, there's music that you're using in your intro every single time.
What the hell? I thought that was the whole purpose of that streaming service.
And so no, not that intro. In the one when we do the intro video for
like bow,
yeah, the quick one. So I used a Camtasia thing, and they're like, this is complete copyright free music. You can use it in whatever you want.
Camtasia.
And it's always giving me copyright strikes. So I started looking at, and I think it is Suno or Sora or whatever it is. I think it's Suno.
Yeah.
And so if you go to there for free, you have to like give them attribution, and it's not copyrightable, but you can use them in YouTube. But if you pay for it for the month, anything that you create during that time, you own the copyright.
User?
Yeah, so you get the audio for it.
Huh.
So I just want to show you something right here.
Okay.
I created this with the free version, so we would get the copyright on this.
Nice.
But we should still get it. But check this out.
Love it.
Hell yeah. Can't freaking commercialize this. So I thought, how sweet would it be on the stream to make the new theme song?
Oh yeah, that would be good.
We do AI theme
like
song.
an hour. We do an hour on AI theme song.
Yeah.
Love that.
Tell me that wasn't sweet though.
Totally.
I guys saw that, and then they're like,
what was the prompt? What did you put in? Like happy 8-bit.
It was all of I can't even remember.
Game.
But the thing that sucks is you can't retro it.
Oh.
You can't so I was.
We'll come up.
We'll come up with a new one. I was like, AI can. But that was a sweet one.
Totally.
Tell me that wasn't freaking sweet.
No, absolutely.
I loved it. So we can come up with a bunch of little
I feel like even a couple of them would be good, right? Like we need ones for like different parts of the show, and the ending would be fun.
We can do that.
Yeah.
That was a good chip.
So I like that one. I like that one. Are we playing any modern games? Can you think of any? I mean, besides, so I think you should put, Jackbox basically if you haven't. Like that needs to be kind of spread out. I feel like that is like the palate cleanser.
Ooh, you know what? What if you got milestone Jackboxes?
Right? Like we unlocked different Jackbox games or whatever that we were going to allow ourselves to do.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
If you get a certain level, you get like Dropful 2.
You know,
or
like
you
if we hit a certain milestone of
I'm just going to put a
donations.
question mark. So Jackbox is fun. We maybe do that. We put stretch break in there.
Sure.
Maybe we do a yoga session.
Well, I know we talked about cooking something, right? And I imagine we'll be back and forth between this room.
What should we cook, stream?
Yeah.
Is there something out there that would be delicious?
Like, it's almost because you can't really cook in that area. It's more like mixing things together, right? Or folding things because there's no heat source on your bar.
No. So we would maybe do some mixed stuff. Yeah, like we'll do smoked cheese, grilled cheese.
Nice. Love it.
We have to use like torches and stuff like that.
Ooh,
you know what I could do is I could create the mobile phone version.
Nice.
Like we could do something like that. Oh, I like this. Mini waffle makers.
Public chili soda.
I like these things. These are some good ideas here.
Yeah.
So if it sounds like it might be fun to do like a cut something together.
I think one thing to try it, right? And so do something simple. Do something that doesn't require like putting together a whole gigantic heat source or something. Maybe it could be blended because all you would have to do is plug in a blender and do it.
Ooh, grilled cheese in a mini waffle maker.
Oh my God. Well, that sounds crazy, but I kind of maybe it's a ridiculous thing. Like I could see it being a ridiculous thing that we try.
Drink concoctions.
Totally. You know, okay. Here's where I feel like we're gonna get in trouble because last year I feel like we did not drink during the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was because we were like, no, there's no way we're gonna stay up. And now like I'm overly confident.
Oh
no. And so I'm like, we handled that last year. Like the adrenaline's got us through.
I'm
we
not
did the whole
drinking.
thing. And I was like, yeah, but like, what if there were like slight drink, you know, like thing just to sort of
so here's what I think that could be the milestone though.
Yeah, milestone.
Like milestone
things,
drink. Like you earn us a drink and we'll be like, we're gonna do something.
We're gonna do a shot of something. I could see that.
Yeah, like it's the drink milestones.
Yeah.
I like the idea of because I thought of this and I was like, I am absolutely not drinking until like after a certain time.
Sure. I can see that. So it would be later on in the thing.
Well, and that's the fun thing about the milestones is we should think about that in just a minute here.
Okay, so modern games. Is there any modern games that you want to play? Maybe not. Besides Jackbox.
If you think of those, I think we should play Crokinole.
Okay.
There's got to be a Crokinole game or any kind of a tabletop. We need to do a tabletop games.
100%. You have the whole camera set up and everything.
Yeah. All shots must be doubles. Oh God!
Oh my God! Are you trying to kill us?
Bad. Look at this. Skullbob's Asset Deep Dive Retro Gaming. We thought of this at the
we knew. Well,
Jesus.
this was us taking our
October 30th, dude. It's almost been a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
It was amazing. Okay. Do you want to do a thing with the kids again? I feel like that was super fun. Having your kids come in and do some kind of something with us in the morning of Saturday.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out like if there's a game that we can give them like how do I connect them into it? Because they got into Siege and like Terraria now and all these other games.
Again, last year was Minecraft, right? Maybe this year they come in and show us their crazy Terraria level, right? Or something. I would be down for that.
Well, and they got the new Oculus too, so.
Ooh, because we did that last year, right?
Yeah, we might try that. I'm gonna put a question mark on that, but maybe we can get them in, because I got to see if I can get it them tapped into the system. So
tapped into the system, or like agreed to even do it.
They would do it. I think it's more along the lines of like, how do I get them to cast into the system? It might actually work really good. Because last year it sucked when we tried to get the. Oh, no, it was great. It was amazing.
You're
last
like,
year.
no. Last year, let me not downplay it. It was great.
No, when we got into the VR system at last year, we couldn't hear.
Oh, that's
and
right.
there was some like, but I think we can get that. So Mike Azul did the Raspberry Pi demo.
Yep. I feel like if we want to have someone come in, do something,
like Guest?
Like, we could put that. Yeah, we could put that out into like the Discord.
Mike
if
Azul has a
anyone
new camera set up out there. Mike Azul.
pitch us interesting half hours or whatever that you want to do.
A next segment.
Next segment could be fun,
Dude.
I'd be down for that.
How can you show us about the next and what you've been doing on that? That would be so fun.
Totally.
I would love that. You're on the show. You're in the show.
I love outro. Thank you. Slaps. $1,000 goal reached.
Did we put in that?
Because we had slaps. We had slaps as part of the.
I
thing
think I edited this at the end. I think this was just saying this is what we
but
ended
we had
up doing.
slaps. I feel like there was a. If you look at the original Excel spreadsheet, I feel like it had slaps.
Really?
In it.
All right. Oh yeah.
I don't remember Oregon Trail retro board game. Did we maybe not make it to that?
I think we maybe didn't, or we looked at it and we never played the game.
Yeah. I would also, I found scheduling in interesting conversations to be a good part of it. Like when we watched your like the CSU Pueblo AI thing with some of the teachers and stuff, I found that as a great thing to sort of break up the randomness of the other stuff is like a deep dive conversation for an hour. Like maybe that happens once or twice. I could see that.
I like it. So Heather says, what is she making us this year?
Ooh, right? Oh man.
More interviews.
Yeah. I could see that bringing in we could think of one person, right?
I think we could get a couple. So I got a guy that might be. You know who I should bring in, Mike Azul? Is Eric Godot or Gaddett from SMU. He's the AI guy. Like that would be a sweet one. I might be able to get him in.
There's also there's a guy who used to go to my elementary school, and he does 3D printing and electronics for plays. Like they're doing Frozen right now, and he did an entirely 3D printed what's a snowman? The snowman from Frozen. Snowman from Frozen. Olaf. Thank you. And so Olaf, he did a 3D printed Olaf with like the arms and a pneumatic mouth that opens and closes while you do it. And he does all his 3D printed shit. So I was like, that's kind of neat.
If you get him, what's his name?
Mike Shipley.
Mike Shipley on the show.
Yep.
Are you locked there, Michael? For the other Mike Azul? We're not going to pressure you, though. If you want to talk anything. So we got Eric Godot, or Godat, Mike Shipley. I don't know. I think interviews could be a fun thing. Like pulling a couple people, try to get them scheduled in.
Like just do it for half an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would be cool.
All right. We'll put you as a question mark if it's there. I like the idea that you've been doing some cool stuff. Food-wise. So if we go at 9, we'll have probably eaten dinner. So we might want we'll have some snacks. So,
and I feel like we need to do one food thing that feeds us for one meal.
Well, we need to do at least 2. So
2?
Dude, breakfast.
No, I know, but I meant us making a thing on stream.
Oh, yeah,
because there's a difference between ordering food.
Well, see, I think the orders are gonna. If Heather, I don't know which times you could come in to help us up with this, but
right.
So
that was awesome last year, but totally we could also order food if you have other things going on.
History of the Pueblo Chili.
Oh, nice. I like that
so
idea.
I could try to bring in David. I don't know. I could probably bring in David, the literal family. So yeah, you have a football game in the AM, so maybe we come up with breakfast ourselves.
Yeah,
so
I like that idea.
So we have to
smoothie or something.
So one of the things that I'll practice, and I just got to make sure it works, is I can get the phone to connect to the stream kit, and you can have a roaming phone.
Oh, okay.
So let's say you were downstairs.
Yeah.
And then, or we were downstairs and we cooked something, and then I was like, let me see if I can get it up to the upstairs.
Right.
And then if the phone's working and we could do the thing, I could actually cook.
Yeah, that's true.
And then one of us is at least monitoring, make sure we didn't disconnect.
I mean, I'm sure we can come up with something that doesn't require so much
Or make a breakfast burrito and just
Right.
get some eggs really quick and then bring it down and put it together. I think it's a thing.
Totally, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of assembling something or cutting up something. You know, I always find that.
All right,
That's the part of cooking that I like.
Cool. I think we got some things on interviews, breakfast.
Okay, can we switch over? Can we look at some of my
Absolutely.
things
Let's do
from
that.
so we've sort of gone through this. Love the suggestion from the chat. If anyone else has suggestions, of course, like I have so many Pueblo chilies in my freezer right now. I have like 36 stack of
Oh my God, that
quart
many?
bags, flattened quart bags of Pueblo green chilies,
How long
which
you-
will last me for a year.
That's
How many is that? 3 a month? That makes sense. I do a lot of grilling Pueblo green chilies. If you're not using them in sautéed vegetables, you're not living life.
But it makes everything delicious.
Like I saute green chilies, onions, mushrooms, and red onions all together, and then I just eat that on top of and including in everything.
That's
I just make up like a giant thing of it at the beginning of the week and then eat that throughout the week.
no, I love these ideas. This is some good stuff.
Okay. Shall we look at some of the things that I listed? Do you want to just move it over to that? Or do you want to just call them
up.
out?
You can call it out. I can definitely bring it up on the
Okay.
screen. So here we go.
All right. I'm going to start at the bottom because this is where I like the idea of playing something hard, because Adam played Tetris last year and it was super hard. And I don't remember if that was actually during the 24-hour stream.
It was.
But I loved the idea of like playing something hard that we're going to like bang our heads against for an hour and try to get to the end, right? Because that's really like rousing. So I don't know what that is.
I think you play it this year since I did Tetris last year.
It could be, right? So like I don't know, we're gonna have to think of
Metal
something.
Slug.
Some kind of like I could see Metal Slug, like getting through a certain amount of levels or something like that. Okay. I definitely think we have to have video game working sessions. I don't know if that has been written down yet, but
It's being written down now.
because I think we're at the place where some collaborative back and forth extended sessions of like
Oh yeah.
one story and two main platforming level layout, including story, right? Like,
yeah.
what do those look like? What do these connections do? I feel like if we could spend a couple hours in Mural and we can spend a couple hours building stuff, like we will be light years ahead of where we are right now. And just a sense of like building the shit that needs to be put together to make this game.
I think that's a good idea. I honestly would, based off my experience up to this point,
Exactly.
show the process of getting a game from dev to cart.
Oh man, it would be tough to get it to cart at this point. But
No,
you know,
absolutely,
like
right?
save it out.
Like
right?
that's what I'm
I
saying.
could see
Like
it.
just like the thought of it. Like we got
Totally.
it right here.
What is that thing called?
It's called a Benven. I wish I could have got it to not do a thing. There you go. Benven.
So obviously 3D printed.
Well, it's like it's sweet because it's 3D printed around whatever the thing is. But no, I think that would be a great idea. I'm starting a YouTube series on Double Drop Down on showing how to do all the GB Studio stuff I've been
Totally.
doing. So
Oh man, that would be amazing. You would do amazing videos of that.
it would be fun.
Okay, the next one that I have is discuss and design Ryan's backyard project.
What are you doing in the backyard?
Okay, so we're moving houses. By the next time that we are in this room and we are doing this, I'm not going to be in the current house that I am in, but in actually a brand new house across town. And that has been a almost 10-month exercise
Ordeal.
that we have been going through. Yes. So we're moving to a different house and we will be doing it literally the weekend before this podcast happens or, show happens. But one of the badass things about the new house that I have is an element in the backyard that is already there, set up in the backyard, and I have some ideas about how to make that into a cool new project that I'm planning on working on during the thing. And I want people's like fun brainstorming ideas of what to do with the structure and to make it into a super cool thing, which I think I will be doing next summer, basically. So I want to talk about that. I want to spend an hour like looking at that. I have some 3D renders.
Backyard
of
of Ryan's project.
Yeah.
I love it. We're putting it on there.
Okay, continuing the slaps.
All right, I'm going to put slaps in all caps.
Rubber band slaps. We talked about that. Ear flicks was also a thing that ChatGPT suggested as something that would be mildly painful, but also not long-term hurting. So anyway, we could do that. And then right above that, I have a bunch of stuff on a wheel, question mark. Slaps,
Wait.
games, challenges.
You have a wheel picker in here?
Yeah, like this is just like a thing. You input in stuff and you say how long, and I was like, maybe as we hit things, we take it off the board and add slaps. So by the end, it's like all slaps. And as we remove fun things from it, it just ends up being slaps. Or I have a physical wheel that we use for gamifying chores at home with the children that I could bring in. But who knows what that will be. Yeah, 3D print that. That'll be the whole 24-hour stream. But anyway, yeah, so like I was like, oh, what if we just added slaps? Or like Ryan gets to slap Adam or Adam gets to slap Ryan, right? Like it goes back and forth. Exactly. So it would be like, all right, we're gonna pick.
Oh, I like the little like confetti
Exactly,
there.
totally.
Slaps.
Yeah. So I thought like that would be fun. We could fill it up with fun things.
Oh God,
or like
nutcake.
maybe Adam has to do 20 push-ups or something like that.
Ooh, I like the physical aspect.
Push-ups, right?
Like-
Because that could be like getting the blood pumping too.
Or like get you tired.
Yeah, that's true.
Chug a Red Bull.
But I do like the idea of like narrowing it down to more and more just slaps. We're like, by the end of the time, you're just like, hit the freaking thing. It's just going to, how many slaps am I getting?
I like that you would get it like the wheel could be part of the Extra Life like milestones.
Totally.
So like
milestones,
every
or
100 or every 50 you spin the wheel.
Totally, right?
Like that would be perfect.
Adam drinks a Red Bull. Oh man,
Oh.
we can't shut him up for this whole thing. He's gonna be and then crashes like hard as possible.
Hey, I've gotten better at that. I've gotten
I'm gonna
way
be
better
drawing
at that.
penises on Adam's face because he
geez.
fell asleep. Okay, play the Tetris gift. So that was that one weird controller one that I got you for your birthday, right?
The one that's
I
right
feel
here.
I feel like that would be good.
We can
because
play it
that
just
would be-
directly on the stream. I don't think I can get a CRT in here.
Oh, sure. Well, that was more wishful thinking. 3D print something. I talked about this one, right? For 24 hours, something cool that we assembled near the end. That was kind of my idea. I then had physical games.
You already got Crokinole on there?
I
Hell
already
yeah.
had Crokinole in there. And then this one, I am excited. I just added this the other day. Okay. I think what would be great is if we built our own GPT at OpenAI or in Google Notebook LM.
Yep.
And we sort of put in everything that we knew about Skull Bobs, all the stuff that we had done. I feel like this is something we could do beforehand, get transcripts of videos, like all the character arcs that we want to do. I feel like it would help us just to come up with those things and have those here. And then we could add it to a ChatGPT or one of those GPTs. And then we could ask it questions. We could be like, what do you think would happen when this happens? Or like write us some kind of piece of dialogue for this because you know the tone and you know the like style that we're going for. And I just feel like that would be an interesting way because we are not dialogue writers, right? And so I feel like having some help.
Speak for yourself,
hey,
sir. There.
All right.
Just kidding.
All right. But I'm just saying like that would be a helpful assistant to have for this part of the game process that we're in. And so it feels like spending an hour doing that feels like worth our time.
Absolutely. What did we miss? That was pretty damn comprehensive. Like I think all of the stuff that we've set up to this point makes sense. I like the idea that we might get some more interviews. So we got to start.
We got to do that.
Get on the
that's like-
phones
that's
right
like
now.
That's like next week.
So we got to schedule it so that it's at like legit times, right? So
Yeah, right. Exactly. We're not penciling somebody in for the 3:30 a.m. slot.
Okay, I think we got this.
But like Saturday morning or something like that, right?
Yeah,
or
during the
I'm thinking
day.
like Saturday afternoon. If I was like asking my friend Mike Shipley, hey, could you come in for half an hour at 1:30 to 2:30, right? Like in the afternoon of Saturday, we're going to be pretty punchy.
Yeah. I know. Well, and I
But
think
I feel like that's what's fun, right? Like you're coming in and the thing with bringing in other people is you bring in other audiences, right? Because they're like, hey, I'm doing a fun thing.
Yeah, maybe we can
and
get
then
like
they just like, you know, then they tell their people and more people are donating.
yeah, it's all for the kids.
Yeah.
Create a schedule that builds. Yeah, builds as we go. I think that's kind of what we did. We wanted to have an outline last year.
Yeah.
Just so that we wouldn't get to this point of like, oh God, we're at this next hour and we got
Totally.
punchy.
Yeah.
So then we would like adjust it as it would go forward.
And I think some things went longer, right? And some things went shorter, and that was fine. I feel like the interviews would be sort of like pillars to it,
Yeah.
right? You'd be like, okay, we got to do the interview at 10, right?
And I think the only other thing that we ran into is if like the internet cuts or whatever, we just still keep going. And then we reconnect.
Oh, right.
And
But
so-
that shouldn't be a problem with your amazing fiber internet. Knock on
Yeah,
wood.
I mean, you never know because I ran it for 24 hours on Xfinity and we broke like stream about I think 4 or 5 times last
Really?
year. Yeah,
Wow.
because then I had to stitch the pieces
that's
together.
right. Oh, okay.
But
But
what we-
that was on. I thought you were saying from your new cool internet. No, that was the old.
But it's funny because they like do firmware updates on the hardware at 3 to 5 in the morning, and I'm like, just don't do a firmware update of that one
my
day
God.
or something.
I'm sure that's why they're. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because we would actually be streaming from 3 to 5.
Yeah, that was what I thought it was funny about it. So I don't know. We'll see where we're at with that because we've been having some good luck with the fiber connections, and we'll try that out. But
New house that I'm moving to has fiber.
oh
Excited
hell
about that.
yeah, the
Excited
fiber
about
is
that.
definitely worth the thing. All right, so I think we got the stream pretty much set up. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna have more interviews, more slapping. I love the wheel idea.
Yeah.
I think that would be sweet. It'd
So
be-
so in between now and then, I feel like we just need to sort of lay it out. Like, so maybe we'll post, like you and I can post some kind of like Google Drive, like, you know,
Yeah.
like thing, and we'll add it up, and then we'll add things to the slap wheel. Like, I feel like that's like we'll just load up that slap wheel, and then we'll just use it as a thing that we do in between sections or when we hit
So
certain milestones.
let's get the milestone.
Yeah.
At least, maybe not the full names of those milestones.
No, just what we're gonna do.
But like, what are the checkpoint milestones? So
Are they gifts?
So, for
like, are
instance-
there things like fun, because that's where I built the fun, like the glasses clinking together.
Yeah.
Was AI animated for
so
this last year.
I don't know if we can tie it into this, but from like when we hit a milestone here, I don't think it triggers in Twitch. There's some other things that we can do, but I could actually make some like a board when we get to it. We push a button,
Yeah, cool.
and something happens or something.
Right.
But these milestones will get tracked. So we're basically committing ourselves and saying like, if we reach this milestone,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Well, I
at
imagine these are
milestone.
huge, right? Like I want to do little things like spinning the wheel at like literally every $50.
Well, that's
or
what I was gonna
something
say.
like
So
that,
I
right?
think these are the ones that we would get as like participants.
yeah.
And so it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna earn the sticker for those guys doing the stream if you get $75.
I think this is us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what we're saying is we could create these milestones,
Oh,
share
yeah.
them on the stream, and we're
Right.
like committing ourselves to getting these things.
Yeah. Okay.
Is what
And
I was
these are
thinking.
sort of the high end, if I had to guess. Like,
Well, we can do as many as we want. So like at
That's
$50, what do? We
Oh, right.
we do the wheel
yeah,
All right.
wheel spin,
spin. So
slap wheel spin.
we'll just say it as a wheel spin. And so then what you can do is like at $100, it's a
right.
wheel spin, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, maybe it's like wheel spin plus
Yeah.
something, right? We could figure.
so we can create all these little. Oh wait, not of that money. So 150. So every $50
Yeah.
is a wheel spin, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is like we can commit ourselves. We're not gonna do all of them right now, but just to give you an example. So then you fill out all these things, and then
because then I think it should be like wheel spin plus who's ever yawned the most up to this point does 20 push-ups or something like that, right? And those are the rules that you bring in. Like rules need to be made about like certain things, and then we need to figure out what the criteria for rules are. Because it can't be drinking, right? It can't. No. Everything can't be like take a shot of something because we're gonna die.
See, look at this. Like on the unsigned in version, people can go and see.
Yeah, cool.
What the thing. So if you go to the site, so you can see all the milestones, and that's what's sweet.
Love that.
So, yeah. So at least you could see where you could earn your way to it. You could do credits for Skull Bobs.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
Like early people to get in and be like, hey, if you give a certain amount, you get in the credits.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like what would be an amount that's just enough that it's like ooh.
$50.
Yeah, I was thinking like between 50 and 100.
I think $50, and you would be like a certain tier of getting in it, and then maybe $100 is like you get to pick some kind of object that's in it or something that we make.
The first person to put 250 in it gets a character in the game.
But you know what the problem is? Like, yeah, that would be cool.
Because like you just make one character.
No. I like the idea of whoever is the top donor. So they can fight each other about it.
Oh, you have a little fight off on it. No, I mean I think it could be like those are the things. So what we're gonna do?
I think we should not even discuss this on the stream now. We should sort of hold this back and be like, oh, here's the stuff we're doing.
Yeah. I think that's. But I wanted to show you that we're gonna do that. And so what kind of looks a little. So yeah, you see like $50 increments essentially.
Yep.
Because like some people are probably like, what? I get a sweet shirt if I get to it. I wonder. Maybe they do. Totally. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it works. Like everyone gets a thing at that point.
I feel like those are the milestones for like the individual.
Yeah, I think it is. Like
so, then like why is it? Yeah, which is weird.
Because you're probably like ramping people up to do that. But I love the idea that everyone else is running milestones. So you got to put your information in the chat. So like if somebody donated like let's say like $250. And they were anonymous.
Didn't it name itself in the chat?
Oh yeah, they do. Okay, it shows who donated.
So if somebody donates on this thing, it's connected with our channel.
So you go to donations.
Something comes up in the chat, right?
Yeah, it'll be right here, and it'll show all your donations and do all the.
And they'll show up on the stream, right?
Yep,
so we don't miss it. Cool.
Well, that's the other thing is it doesn't show on the stream.
What?
It shows up. Okay, so it shows up.
This is a technical. This is a technical challenge, not an adaptive challenge. I feel like.
Skullbucks.
I love that.
Because I tried to connect it. There might be some ways to do that, but you better get your ass in gear then to help me do that to connect it in.
How does that? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to figure that
totally.
Yeah, screw you, bro.
What?
Because I looked at milestone celebrate progress. I know you can't see this. And says set up donor incentives to encourage donors to reward them for their support. But then you go into it. Wait, create your own type of incentive at this amount. Incentive description.
Showing people this.
All right, fine. Here y'all see what we're talking about. So. It says add an incentive. What type? Let's try to see if we can make one. So
because I think I did this last year, and this is where you could upload the GIF. And so I did like, hey, if you donate, once we get to $50, everyone who's donated gets like the GIF of the things clicking together, or the GIF of the little faces of us as microphones was one of them.
Let's do it this way, just to test that. So we put 250. You say you get. Character or
I don't, because I think this is overall.
Yeah. Is it?
So I think it's like if it raises $250, everyone gets this thing. Maybe not. Maybe that's not how it is.
So what type of incentive? Yeah, it's a little hard. How much for a double drop down support crew hoodie?
I know, right?
Ooh.
We need merch. We need merch to be.
We should merch it. I'm gonna put that. Like we got to make some merch. It is time to merch.
So like some kind of sticker or something.
No, we got to get hoodies.
Oh God.
We are getting hoodies.
Full 0 to 60.
We're getting hoodies. I'm gonna buy a bunch of hoodies. $500 worth of hoodies.
Well, like I feel like filling out the forms of this is not fun to watch, but like, what are some fun
See,
things?
no, look at quantity available. You can click unlimited or 1. So if you get a donation amount of 1, it says, does this incentive have a start?
No.
date?
Only one person would get that.
Yeah.
So one person would get if they did a $250 donation.
So what we're saying is you would get a character in the game. And so I'm not saying we're going to necessarily do this.
Sure.
But so what we would do is we would custom design a character in the game.
And he'd be like throwing boxes or something.
Yeah, there would be like one point where like
thing.
Roby runs by them and you would be in the
Totally.
game. And so
Yeah.
they would have to give their name and send us like a picture of themselves.
I'm just gonna steal it from LinkedIn.
And then we'll go from there. If they're even on there.
I love that idea.
So we can create multiple incentives.
I like it.
that are
I like it
limited.
especially because it's going to charity. Then you know,
Yeah.
it feels good to because I hate the idea of like Kickstarters where they really screw people and try to get them to donate a bunch of money to get a character. This feels like it's going towards a good thing.
Yeah, no, I love it. All right, so we got to come up with incentives. That's the only
Yeah.
other thing. Like, we'll probably come up with 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
All right, 5 incentives. I love it.
Yeah. Nice. I do want the I love DDD shirt. Triple D.
That's good.
I know. See, Michael, it's awesome.
It's important. That's the fun part of this is that we're just.
Oh, you want to hear bad news about it though? We were going to last time I had my work meeting, giant work, everyone all hands meeting right before it. And I was able to pitch it. And this year it landed right on the same day too. And I was like, it's going to be one day before and I'm going to get to pitch it to my entire company. And they were like, there's a bunch of people because that's on Halloween. They can't make it. So we're going to push it back a week. And I was like, dang it.
Well, we do
Too
what we
bad.
can do.
Too
We just
bad.
put it in the team Slack or chat.
Totally.
Hey, check out all our notes from all of our things that we have.
There's all the episodes.
I very meticulously put all of our episodes in here with all our show notes of everything that we've been tracking. So, yeesh.
Nice.
All right. I think this has been a great thing. Yeah, Halloween is absolutely important.
Totally.
It's our anniversary. It's my anniversary as my wife and getting
right.
married. So I love you, baby.
Nice. That's sweet.
All right. So we are gonna jump in and look at the game. We're at our last little run.
Totally.
And I think what we're gonna do is take a quick peek at where we're at.
I mean, just a little bit of progress, right? But
Yeah, I want to see your kitchen. Ryan made some of a kitchen.
I
so
made
guess we'll see
just
where it's
some
at.
like platforms and things like that, the beginnings of a kitchen, and so because we basically had, we're building a Game Boy game. It has one of the very first levels has sort of 3 platforming sections. One is an alleyway that's very vertical. One is a sewer that is very horizontal. And one of them I was thinking would be the kitchen, which would be the last level that you go through where all a bunch of or have a bunch of abilities or whatever abilities we're giving them in the tavern area you will have by the time you get to this kitchen. And so instead of horizontal or vertical, it's sort of wider and bigger and kind of just like giant squares that you're going into, and you're using everything that you have learned up until that point in it. And so that was part of it where I sort of I set it up very basically. And then I was like, once we know like how much jumping we want them to do or how much sort of obstacles we can put in there, then we'll flesh it out.
I love it, and I think that's going to be fun on the 24-hour stream too, to be able to go in there and tweak it and go back and forth between it.
That's yes.
I saw Mike Azul made a really good idea. Is that we need a QR code and a little promotion of go to Double Drop Down at this date.
Right.
I'm going to be creating a little thing that we might
is
be
a
able
good
to share,
idea.
because you can share it with your folks. I'll share it at
Totally.
my work.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can get some folks in there.
No,
That'd
I
be
love
awesome.
that. It would be great if it was just at the bottom of the screen or something like that all the time. To be like, hey, go donate.
Talking about QR codes, though, I
Yeah.
had an idea.
Yeah.
What if in somewhere in the game, because you could totally do it on a Game Boy screen, like when you go to something, you unlock a QR code and then it links to like the YouTube video or something like that. That would be sweet, like background
That
things.
would be good.
Like I love the idea.
Especially like an 8-bit pixelated QR code. It's like, that's already what they are. So it could be like a whole room or something that you're walking into.
All right, what I'm gonna do, and you can't see it yet, is I'm gonna load. Oh wait, do you have a whole? There is no scene? Is what you're saying?
There's no sprite scene. There's just a JPEG or a PNG of.
What kind of?
Because it's a tiled. That's how I compile it.
You do have a scene. Oh my god, I like this. I love it. All right, we're gonna go over to the kitchen scene.
The kitchen scene.
3, 2, 1, and there we are. Kitchen scene. Roby's in it.
So, this is one of those things where we were sort of in a dark sewer before. And so I used sort of like, I was like, oh, it'll be lighter, but I still want like it to be sort of grungy, like a grungy kitchen, but probably something pretty big. I like the idea of
it's huge.
Like it's huge, obviously. And there's video game conceits in here, right? That you would probably not be jumping up or doing any of those things in a real kitchen. But I was like, hey, what could you be jumping on? I feel like some of it is a little more successful than other things. These like basket looking things. I was sort of like, what is things you could put on the wall of a kitchen that could be used as a platform? And so my idea was like, they have those like nets and then they put fruit in it and stuff. That was my sort of first attempt at that kind of thing. But I feel like it almost looks like one of those mosaic stained glass lights.
I don't know. I kind of actually thought fruit basket first.
Okay, great. So anyway, I was thinking those could be kind of your different elements of platforms to jump on, kind of the wine rack with the wine glasses in it. And you would sort of jump around in this. I think this would be a great one for you had a thing where it sort of shot up and it hurt you occasionally.
Sure.
Like that could be like, pots on the stoves where it's spraying up, and hitting you. And then I feel like you could even do sort of second levels where there was a thing up on top where people were chopping things, or there was some kind of like, you would never build an actual kitchen like that. But for a video game, right, there might be sort of separate levels where they're doing different parts of the kitchen stuff.
I feel like fire coming out of ovens would be a great...
Totally. Fires coming out, like that would be great. So anyway, that was part of the thing that I was thinking we would do during these 24-hour streams, right, is be like, what do we want people to learn about Roby during this section, right? Like what fun things are like Easter eggs, or not even Easter eggs, but just like major plot points that we want to like build graphics around and build story around and be like, what are those things that are interesting to tell the story that we're trying to tell? And I feel like that's a great way for you and I to like collaborate and do things.
I think it would be great because then we can be like, oh, we need to put this over here. Then I'll go and like, I'll just do the technical and then I'll be like, hand it to you. And then you do like the pixel design. It'll be a great way to like go back and forth.
Yeah. Like I feel like we could do planning stuff. We can do sections where we're just like working in Sprite and working in GB Studio and all of that. So
here's my new favorite tool, by the way. If you go
spray?
the little spray can, because like,
you
can get like, you remember the front of Skull Bob's?
Yeah.
Like I used this one a lot
Nice.
to like get these like cool patterns in there.
Nice.
And you can adjust it over here too. So if you go over here, you have your spray distance and like your speed and like how you can kind of like build textures on stuff. Anyways, just thought I'd show you that.
That's a lot of unique tiles there.
So
Adam Pocious.
So what you do is here. Yeah, this was my trick. So let's say you go in and you create like a cool little scene, and you're like, all right, which of these is the coolest tile that you like? And then you're like, this is it right here. And then you copy that little tile out. And then you duplicate it.
And then you just duplicate that a bunch.
So I know I got a little extra on the bottom, but so you get that, and then actually let me just zoom it in, get the right amount there. You don't need this last little line. Oops. Well, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So we'll just we'll duplicate it a couple times. And you can use some spray. Let's get that there. And then you figure, like, obviously it's going to create a pattern.
Sure.
but then you can kind of like say out of that crazy spray, take like 3 of those tiles.
Yeah.
And then you get down to 3 of them.
That's how I've been doing like bricks and stuff, right? You're like, here's the edge and the other edge and a middle piece. And then here's the sort of screwed up ones that I can use occasionally in between.
But the thing is, because we decided to go Game Boy Color, we doubled the amount of tiles we can have in a level.
That is true.
So this was...
Well, and that's why but you know, like the good thing about having that is I would rather that go towards individual tiles that like tell the awesome story, and we try to be as minimal as we can with all the platforms and crap like that we're using.
Beyond.
And then be like, great, now we have hundreds of unique tiles to spend on awesome story beats and super unique pixel art.
Well, and I think that when we do the cutaways, that's where we can do some of the cool stuff.
Yeah.
So this was me pushing the envelope on like how far can you get it. So part of this was taking in like some older pixel, like actual graphics that I had. And saying like, here was a bar that we did as a prototype, and
Did
it was
we
like
do
a
that?
like we had it was like a drawing of some stuff,
Full straight on like this,
like straight on version. I think it was like a prototype I had been working on that was like not even pixelated. But then when you size it down, it pixelates it. And so then I did that, and then as I started working with it, it was like way too many tiles, bro. Don't even try that. But then what I was like, okay, fine. Well, here, like you could see this brick line right here.
Right, sure.
I was like, okay, just duplicate this brick line over and over, and like you'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I finally got it down to like, because if I click on this tile, it should tell me how many unique. It should tell me. I don't know where it would tell me. Shoot 'em up. Crap. It's in here. It used to be in here where it would tell you like, here's how many tiles that you're uniquely using to do this scene. I'm like freaking out right now because I could have sworn it was in here. It used to tell you like what those tiles would be like. You have to click on it.
Unprofessional, Adam.
Oh, it's right there. Tiles, 366 unique tiles on this one thing. Because what happened was I was like, I'm just gonna blow this out of the water and try to create something crazy, and then like start like taking it down.
Yeah.
And then it worked. I was like, what? And then I was like, oh yeah, we're on GBs. So what we basically did is double the amount of tiles that you can do on that.
Yeah.
But what I wanted you to start thinking about, and this is probably us just kind of pivoting because we're 30 minutes out from the end of the show, is this was me extending, because I thought my job was like, what is a cutscene? Like, what can you do with a cutscene was my goal with this. So these little stars, I wanted to make them twinkle, and it looked terrible. So I was like, all right, we're just going to stay there. So the moon used to be just a moon, and then I started like drawing and using that spray and like trying to like make it like a moon. But then what I did, and stupidly, is like use this, and I was like, oh, I could flip tiles, and I can do that here. So it was just sitting here in the middle and kind of blinking. But this little guy is actually an actor.
Right.
So
you could just be like, walk from this edge of the screen to this other edge.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, that was dumb of me to not think that I could make it an actor. And so what I was trying to think about is like, okay, as this scrolls down, I use this shoot 'em up game. And a shoot 'em up game, what it does instead of a platformer, it's those ones that like you automatically side scroll.
Right.
In this case, I just said go straight down.
Down, yeah.
And then so all it does is it kicks off the scene, and it just starts scrolling down. And then I tried to time it and like, do this animation at this point, and then do this animation at this point.
Nice.
And then basically when this little actor, which is invisible right now, if you click on it, it's like it's like a player sprite of him, but then I make him so he's invisible. He comes in here, then he hits this trigger, and then it says, okay, when you hit the trigger, like wait for something to happen, wait for you to push a button, and when you do, then do the thing.
Okay.
So I was thinking, think about really crazy scenes we need in there that we might be able to work on, because I think that would be fun during the stream. And then there's the actual levels. Like, what are the cool, like, just moments in his thing? Like the graveyard, I thought would be amazing.
Totally. For the beginning.
For the get-go. And then Here was a thought, and I think this might be a great way to kick off the game. What I've been trying to do is we're telling a story, right?
Yeah.
We said this from the get-go. We want to tell a story.
Yeah.
So it is going to be having some text on it.
Sure.
But you can always tell it from images too. Like you can like
Totally.
and this in of itself was me like stretching to say, does this tell a story? Like this first, and maybe I'm thinking about this too deeply, but like maybe some people would pick up on what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it out, and I'll hopefully bring it over here in time so you can see, does it tell a story even in just the scroll down? And I think we did this last time. So think about it. You first get into the game and you see a moon and you see some stars. And you're like, great. They're in space. Some space thing is happening right now. And then it slowly scrolls down and then you see this like alien ship. You're like, okay, now there's some alien ship happening. And right as the alien ship is getting off the screen, it kicks over and you see this bar and this little rat running across it. So it's like saying, it's not the best of bars. So here we go. You kind of see it going down. Right as that goes across the screen, the bar's going. So you're kind of like, night, alien, some sort of bar scene.
Yeah, I'd probably do the alien faster. I feel like your brain can catch up to it and figure it out like quicker than that. It almost like it needs to have mystery of that. You're like, did I just see an alien? Like,
And so those were the things I love. Like this is where I felt like I'm in my own box, and I need the unbiased, like, hey, you should do that faster, and like make that happen. So we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
So absolutely, we can make that happen. And then when you get here, you're kind of like, oh, now I'm in front of the bar. And then the story is like, you turn on the lights. And so you're about to get into the bar.
Yeah, nice.
And then you get into the bar, and then like you've walked into the door.
Sure.
So that was and so I'm trying to think about it that way. Like, what are those other moments where we can use just a couple visuals and a couple little like things that float around that tell a little bit of the story?
Totally.
And I thought before he gets into the bar, what might be really kind of a cool thing is we could either Pulp Fiction it, where maybe this happens, or maybe this is a later part in the game, and he gets in, and I always have this scene where like it comes down and he's like at the graves of his grandfather, and it's like raining on him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what was it like to be like, you, Grandpa?
Sure.
And then it cuts to a scene where you're playing as Robert Decker.
Oh, right.
And you're up in the thing, and you've just got the skull.
Cool.
So now you have all of the powers that you can get in the game.
Nice.
So you can be like shooting some things. You get some aliens, like you get the full whole thing, and you can swap between all the tools. And you're like, holy shit, this game is like crazy. You're already like loaded out.
Yeah.
And then right when that happens, like something happens where it whites out the screen, and then he's like,
yeah,
I'll never know.
Right. I love that idea.
And then he kicks into the game, and then this kicks off.
I love that idea because it connects. Oh no,
you're good.
It connects to the original sort of video that we did, right? They had a sort of episode 0 version of it where we had like Robert Decker in there, and now you get to play it a little bit. That feels like a fun, throwback to that.
I was thinking about what you said earlier too, is how do you get that demo? Like that's the demo.
Right.
So then you can be like, here's the little part where you have to jump, and here's all the, and you kind of like help explain it maybe. Hey, you have the dash, or you have this thing, and you have the whole menu like stacked out.
I love that idea, and I think like that could be a fun intro of like before, maybe this is the second intro.
Yeah.
Right? Like this beginning right here with this Skull Bobs is like, hey, good night, Stealth Mouse.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. Like this part of it is sort of the, now you're getting into the actual game part of it, right? Like we've done the rain scene and the graveyard scene and the grandpa scene, and now we're like, okay, now we're into real time now.
Yeah.
And we sort of enter it this way, and then it's sort of late title card almost, right? Skull Bobs.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I
Right.
like late title card.
Like
That's great.
after this first like section of doing the grandpa thing.
See, so this is where we would work it out, and we come up with the concept, and then we run.
Well,
it
because
to
then,
ground.
because you'd be like, oh man, that's a whole other scene, and we got to do a whole other character, and we got to do a whole other thing. So I think you would almost put it up there as like, when we were doing this actually in the planning stages, you'd be like, that's an idea for the beginning one. Do we feel like it's worth our effort and worth our stuff to like tell that part of the story versus using that effort to tell some other like further along part of the story, say? But I do, cool idea.
And so I think we have those ideas and we run them to ground in real time. And so the
mural board, I feel like the mural board is gonna be super important for the 24-hour stream of the planning.
Absolutely. We put it in. Well, the thing too is it might even just be great to have the conversation in fairly real time. Like for instance, the kitchen. We might just have a sprite up right here and we're just like, okay, here's the kitchen, and I'll just dump it out, put it into the game, and then we'll just put some like platforms on it.
I think it's almost just even if you're going to get as far as platform design, level design in the 24-hour stream, which I feel like you could spend a lot of it planning, but like if you're going to get into that, I feel like it doesn't even matter what any of these pictures look like. It's square blocks that we could play over and over again.
So I absolutely agree. But here's the thing. Square blocks are just as easy as to what you have in here.
No, I don't think they are, because then when you go into A-Sprite or you go into Tiled, you have to build it all out where like...
Wait, what's the grid at? Oh, let me just show you. Yeah, because I thought that was a little... Let me just show you how I was building. I agree with you. It's a little easier to take a black block instead of like I was just using one solid tile that was out of the black color.
Yeah.
And then I was like, every time it's completely that color, you can step on it. Anytime it's the green color, you can fall through it. And you can, let me just change the grid here really quick. I can't apparently click tonight. So grid settings, 8x8. Okay. So for instance, you might, and this is, I absolutely believe you have to do this to tune in a structured map.
Right.
I did even with yours a little bit. So you're just like, damn it. This thing that looks so awesome needs to go like 1 pixel to the right.
Yeah.
And it actually plays really great in all the other elements. And so then I would just be like, all right, I'm going to take this piece and then just like take it 1 to the right. And then I go back over there, do the thing, and then you can put Roby in there, and you try the jump like 5 or 6 times. You're like, sweet, like that's done, and it looks pretty, and it does. But I'm agreeing with you on the first part. Let's try to get the blocked out version.
Yeah.
But what I found is that it was just as easy to say like, all right, I'm gonna use grid snap to grid and grab this little like grid here. It doesn't matter if they're like a single color or sweet like made things. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, this one thing needs to go over 1.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now that makes the jump hard enough and it looks cool. And it, because what I was afraid of before too is it cool that this goes over 1? Does that look good in the whole scene if I were to?
But it's almost like I almost don't even want to use those things. It's like I want to keep it blank to be like
what needs to be in
you're like, here's what absolutely needs to be here. And if you just saw those, what cool thing would you build around it? Like, as opposed to having a thing that's already being like, oh yeah, you know, we could just put we could put that same level part there. Whereas if you just saw blank, you might like, your mind might be like, oh, there should be a giant waterfall there, or there should be a giant, you know, thing there. Is always, you know, for like the creativity side of it.
And so we have maybe 2-3 hours probably for that part. That would be their night session, because most people are going to be like, they're making the video game.
Totally. I feel like working sessions are like the 2 a.m. to 8 a.m.
So I'm going to play. Did you play any of the blank version of the sewer then?
I played whatever we played on the last stream is the last time I played.
Because I think that's the ultimate test. And like this room right here, this is the bathroom. Blank is crap, man. Like, are those lights the right lights to be in there? Should we be doing something different with like, how does it? And so this was a proof of concept of, can I make this like
a thing that hurts you occasionally?
Yeah. So I'm going to use this version. What I'll do is I'm going to actually push it over to the side. Move it just a minute here so I can actually see it. So if I go to load development, My problem is like I put this line here and you kind of drop down into that section. I'm like, why would you drop down into a section? Like, what would make that a thing that you jump into? And so as I put these things in there, like I tuned this level in, like to the point where I'm like, I think this is a really fun platformer at this point. So now it's like, how do we get to the point of dressing it up?
Yeah.
Like, what are those? Like, if you took this right now, I feel like you have a pretty solid platformer.
Yeah, totally. Like we played this last time. I feel like it is. I feel like this is the point where you go, okay, now we need to dress it up.
Right, and so that's what I guess I'm getting at is like, does that feel normal? Like, does this feel like? How would you then approach the next step? So you're in a sewer right now.
Yeah.
And let's go to the sewer level. This is where we're just playing. Like, what? And I'm just curious. This is more my question to you. Like, how do you approach that? Like, because when I put it together, I was like, I had no concept of design. I'm like, I'm just making sweet platforms that are like, you have a bottom platform level and a top platform level, and there's one little secret part where you can get to this one, but if you miss it, you can like go underneath and like do that. And there's an extra door to where you would want to go underneath.
I feel like this is a perfect example of how to do this. So you'd be like, okay, we know we want hurting something at the bottom. Like that is a big part of this, right? So like that has to be a constant. So what is that for this scene, right? Okay. Like is in the sewer, are these spikes? Are these old beer that is poisoned at the bottom that's like running in from the outside? Like what is the story that we're trying to like show of this? Is it just that it's like spiky and gross and something? Like what is hurting Roby by being down there? And then you'd be like, okay, well, it's pouring gross water. So then you'd be like, oh man, there's got to be like giant pouring things that are filling up this section of this, right? Or is it runoff beer? Like, you know how we talked about like the beer that's actually getting brewed at Roby's is terrible, and the only thing that's creating the actual good beer is the Skull Bob Skull. Maybe this is all the disgusting beer, right? That's pouring down here, and he's in it, and the first time he gets in, he's like, what is this beer? This is disgusting, right? Like I got it in my mouth or whatever.
Runoff beer.
So it's runoff beer. Let's say it's just runoff beer. Then you'd be like, oh man, now I got to layer in things of like, you can partially see the broken still of something, and that's what's pouring it in, not just something else. And that's what he would notice, right? And those are the things that like I think you and I should talk about. We sort of have an ish level. What do we want to tell, and what are the fun things that we could build that you like discover as you go through this level?
So you have it. I think like we're here. So maybe that is one of the areas. There's two versions of it. There's like you're into this like
the intro. I feel like this is the beginning, right? You're sort of like, oh, this is sort of normal stuff. Maybe they're it's just water or something like that, or
you get these like vats of things. I don't even
like
know what it is.
It's still water. Like maybe it's still water, and you're like, what is this? It hurts. Like when I get in there.
I guess my point is that I've been having a problem because at first I was like, I'm just making a platforming level with a bunch of platforms, and that's all I'm doing here. Like I didn't think about it from a visual standpoint. Like it doesn't look. So when I built this, it took me a long time to get the like jumps just enough where you're like, you get pissed off just a little bit. You're like, oh, like you bump your head up on this one, or if you don't hit it right, then you're kind of messed up. Because originally you go up this thing and it was just this big long path and you had to just like sprint across. I was like, that's not fun at all. No. Like you got to like get out of here. And now it's on the other end where you're like, it's actually a pain in the ass to get out of here.
Well, and I feel like that is 100% the perfect way that you should be thinking about building these levels, is making them fun to traverse. And we need to come up with what story points we want to talk about during these levels. And then like I was riffing for 2 minutes, right? About like what this could possibly be. We could riff for another 20 minutes and come up with another 10 things that this could be. Like it's almost, you could build whatever you want around platforms, right? And the nice thing about video games is people have a language of video games in their minds that they know that, like, yes, you're going to be jumping on platforms. You're going to be doing things. It's not going to be 100% realistic in that sense of like how a sewer underneath a bar would be looking, right? Or that you would be jumping on things. But I could see this top level being like a broken down stair, level of something.
There
right?
you go. See,
and so then it's like, oh, part of it is crumbling down, right? Or part of it, this is, and that's what you're jumping across to.
So that's why I hired you for this, right?
Right. And then that's what you spend your calories on. That's what you spend your unique tiles on, is making it look like it's this awesome stuff that's crumbling down. And so you build everything else very generic. So you end up with like, I can build this entire actual functional level in 50 unique tiles, but like all that other cool shit is where I spend my other 300 unique tiles.
I think that's a good point. And Mike as well had a good question in the chat. It's like, what's the difference between the dark and the light green? And technically there's nothing different about it.
No.
But what the difference is when I overlay collision boxes over it. So what I was trying to do is saying like, you can't drop into a black colored version of it. But if it's a light green color, then it has this little line under it. You can drop down through it.
And you can jump up through it.
You can go up and down through it.
Because the red, you can't jump. You like hit your head.
And so I think that was an important delineation, and that might be a good question, because like what I was trying to say is you have to be able to jump up and through these, because if you don't, it sucks, because you like bump your head up here or you bump into this one.
Well, and that's with the visual stuff. So like those should all be wood, right? Like they're wooden planks doing something, and all the red should be stone. And so then you're like, right, I can't jump up my head through stone, but I can jump up onto this board, which is sort of like, it's still a conceit.
I mean, yeah, you come up with those little pieces of it. So like if you're on this green one and I push down, you'll fall right through it. And so you got to kind of be careful, because you can fall through those different pieces. Now you don't die right away when you hit the water either, because you have to so if you go to the water, you have to be in there for just a second, and then you start to get the feeling.
Well, and I think that'll have to be a thing that we teach people, right? Like when you very first time that you ever fall in, it triggers a text box that says, "Oh, what is this? Or whatever."
Yeah,
God!
disgusting.
And then it like holds you there for long enough till it be like, "Kunk, kunk, take one thing of life before you can get out," and then it says like, "Oh man, I got to make sure not to do that again."
You could almost even put a sign in there that said like, don't stay in the water too long, it's poisonous.
Yeah, like it's a plumber's note from 1974 that says this should all be really looked at. It's very dangerous in here, and there's electricity running through it or something. I could see that even be like, this is a horrible code violation.
Yeah, so hopefully you get what that looks like. So little spider trying to get at us, but you can't go down through those ones. You can't go through down.
And you got to just visually say why certain things are.
Yeah.
And then that's where you hide things, right? Is you hide the one that is rock but sort of looks like gravel, and then you're like, what about this part? And then I could go down through it, right? So it's like in between you missed it.
Doing good.
Yeah, you were doing good. It's like the in between of being able to like doing this on a computer.
I know it's not easy. No, I'm hearing exactly what you're saying. Like you can kind of like do just enough of a different
where you go like, oh, what? Like this looks different than I saw before, and it's sort of half in between. I wonder if I could go down in between. And then you're like, yes, I can. Oh, what?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
What happened?
It's like
it's this tiny little 8-bit keyboard, right?
One of the things that my kids were saying though is that it is actually pretty hard because he kind of slides, like you have to run forward. I think we got to tune in the fun of his thing, of like what makes Roby fun. And I've done that many times. Like I screwed it up, but like because there's a couple moments where like it feels like you should make the jump.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't quite
Right.
make it.
Well, and it's a visual thing, I guess, again too, right? Because like it visually looks like you're like, I should make that jump, right? Like, and so then it gets frustrating because you go like, oh man, I feel like I made that jump, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like dialing in some of that to find the fun.
The hard part of that is that if we go too far with the parkour,
Yeah.
and then we start tweaking the character's physics, it can screw up the entire game. And so I'm nervous that we're gonna mess that up. And so here's the
Physics is in like, oh, he needs to jump higher.
Yeah, so here's default Roby, or
Yeah.
let me go to default Roby. Okay, so here, if you're at him, we can make multiple deaths, by the way. So I put death 1, but he can have multiple ones. I thought
do
that'd be
want
fun.
that.
So if you go to him and you get to the hitbox, and let me just zoom in because I think this is a good maybe exit to this.
Yeah.
So this is our character, and he has this is his hitbox.
Okay.
So notice that if it goes like the back end of his right elbow there, or pretty much his whole head is not hitting. So everything in that square considers a hit. And it's also kind of bad in certain cases because if it goes into that little area that is dead space between his foot and his hand there, or his head and his hand, that's also a hit. But the way that thing hits land, they don't look that terrible.
Yeah. I don't feel like the collision with enemies is as
But if you
know,
go,
bad.
but here's this,
Right.
this is the
Yeah.
rub. I'll show you the rub. Is
Totally.
this one is
Yep.
when he does his jump. Look at where his hitbox is.
right.
So he has to actually clear all of those pixels, a whole tile underneath that jump.
Yeah.
Now, there's a way around this, and I can actually adjust his hitbox at certain times
per-
when he jumps.
So
Adjust and it'll come back. Yeah, and so it becomes a pain in the ass. And I feel like we're almost at that point where I need to start.
Because that is the worst. I feel like that is the worst part. Is you go to jump and you're like, I made that jump. What the hell? And it just doesn't give it to you, right?
Right. And this is probably the one piece as to what makes that happen.
Yeah,
is
I can
this
see it
one.
because explaining it like that totally makes sense, right? Because you're above it, but your hitbox is still showing you as
hitbox is
standing.
and so what the sucky thing is, I can't say oh, the hitbox on this, because this is one full sprite sheet.
Yeah.
So it has to be in this exact same location
time.
for all of the different versions of what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, but here's the other thing is if I go to the death sprite sheet, for whatever reason, I think I made it just lower. He's already dead right now. There's
right.
no,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it
matter
doesn't
if he
matter.
gets hit. So
Yeah.
I don't even think I adjusted that one. There's no hit detection.
Yeah.
But if he's doing this one, it's similar, but then there's another hitbox that I need to do when he's doing a punch.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just saying it gets really complex.
Totally.
So right there, he's swinging his bat, but then I also have to make, and I don't even know if I want to explain this, but there's something called a projectile. So when he swings his bat, there's a moment that say at this exact moment as he's swinging through, put this other box in front of
Yeah.
him.
It's almost like he has a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? But instead of him shooting a shotgun blast that only goes right in front of him, he has a bat that goes right in front of him.
Yeah, and it's for a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
But these little hitboxes can adjust. They don't have to be always the same
Okay.
thing. When he's on, I don't know if there's other rock slide. Oh man, I didn't even realize rock slide was messed up. So I could adjust it for when he's on I should probably adjust that. I didn't realize that. I didn't even do
man.
anything. So when he's on a wall,
He can't get hit in the head.
Yeah, you can't. He gets hit in the head, nothing happens to him.
Nice.
And so you have to do that for every single one of your characters. And so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what's the hitbox on this. So that one is interesting because you're the hitbox should be a little bit bigger. Like a door. I remember. Oh, that was just a piece of a door. Anyways,
of a door.
long story short, this guy, when he's in his mode, and I got to look at it, his hitbox is
His feet.
just his feet, I guess.
Yeah, does it matter? Does it matter how big one person's hitbox is?
These ones because he's not getting shot.
Ooh, that's the thing. Add this to the trailer or add this to the thing.
Battle.
We got to talk about boss battle. That needs to be an hour.
Make a boss battle.
Or just, I feel like an hour goes by like that when you're planning things. I don't know if we're gonna have time to build real levels in this, but I think we can play with sort of
I think it's a great
blocky
idea.
things maybe and hitting things, or I don't know.
All right. Well, I think this just like exposes to you like the little challenges that I'm finding. So every one of these things, like this one was a pain in the ass because you're like, I need that to be the hitbox, but what if he's on a different frame where he's moving like up? So if he's on here, so see where the hitbox is a little bit higher than where his butt is?
Yeah.
Versus if he's going right, the hitbox is like...
Well, but I like the idea of him going up and you like making it underneath him. I feel like there's like a storyline thing of that, right? It's like, oh, you're just making it underneath, and he's turned around in the other way. He shouldn't hit you at that point.
Well, but anything that hits within that orange, he's got you. So his legs like can just touch over you.
Totally.
I just got touched by a spider.
Totally.
And then like the UFO doesn't matter, but that's an example. Like that's where he's floating around.
Stop project managing this stream, Mike Azul.
Split up the plan and implement across different segments. No, I like that.
That's fun. The pointer finger.
Well, and then
because that's where
the click is.
That's the click. Looks like a zombie hand.
No, I like the idea of splitting it up because, like, here's the thing: is that if we bring in a guest, you split. So we start at the beginning because if we just do one big block of it, you're not hyping it up. You're like, so maybe we talk about the boss and we're like, all right, in a couple hours we're gonna build the boss.
Totally.
We go into interview. We're like, hey, we're about to build a boss, and on this video game we're about to do.
That's true.
That'd be
I sort of
sweet.
thought of those, and maybe we can hype it up still, for getting people to do things. But I figure like the 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. or something like that is probably pretty dead. But like I like the idea of hyping it up before we get into it, even just for us.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need that. Like I'm already yawning right now. I feel like I was when I did the first stream. Like I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna do
remember
this?
like we were like, oh, we're the first, we're one hangout in, and we only have 8 to go. Because it's like 3-hour chunks. And Adam had yawned 4 times.
Like I am gonna continue to yawn, and you're gonna have to punch.
I'm gonna be escalating where I get to snap this industrial grade rubber band into you.
There's this like point though where you get into like a mode of just being like, holy crap, am I awake? Am I here?
Yeah. Right. We'll just do a pre-run.
Yeah, let's just keep it going.
But I do feel like I'm a little overconfident probably from last year. So I'm kind of like, oh man, like we got this.
I'm running the same. I'm
not gonna take a nap beforehand. I didn't take a nap. I didn't take a nap before that. Like it'll be fine. Maybe I'll stay up late the night before.
Oh jeez.
Maybe I'll start drinking early.
I woke up at 4 this morning.
Ooh.
And so I've been going from 4 and now it's 11, and so like this is a test of like, and I'm tired as hell right now.
Yeah,
so
you're
like
already testing it. All right, I like that.
I love it. So we got kitchen, we got a bunch of stuff for the stream itself. I think we're in a really good space. So thanks for getting the kitchen. But what I would love to do is step out of the stream. If we had a fairly good first stab at like. Kitchen's done,
right?
Sewer's done. We had some planning for some other elements. Maybe we don't do those part, but like the ones that are in there right now, they look pretty. You can get through that.
Yeah,
because I think we got a pretty damn decent version of the game because this is truly the end of the year ish.
Right. Yep. Because I feel like we have the building blocks of 3 platforming levels and a hub level. We have sort of the interactions that we know we want to have those type of maybe they adjust slightly. Oh my god!
I'm just kidding.
I straight to the eyeball. So we have, it's like we have all the elements. Now we just need to sort of like collaborate and build them together into a fun and interesting thing that then we can build and add on to. And I feel like that leads us straight up into the end of the year.
I think that would be a perfect way to like launch us into that.
Me too.
And I feel like with all this talk of slap is you should slap me.
Just like as a preview before we go.
A preview
with
slap right now
minute,
because you
1
hung
minute.
out with us.
Woo!
Y'all getting a slap, right?
Some people ditched out. Some people ditched out, and they weren't able to see this.
Have a game kitchen. All right.
Nice.
I yawned too many times. Ryan's gonna give me a slap right now.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta take my glasses off.
Take those glasses off.
All right.
I'm not getting slapped, right? I didn't volunteer.
No,
for
you're
this.
getting.
I'm just
slapped,
giving
right?
to you.
You're giving me the slap right
I'm
here.
giving to you.
Oh God.
Do you want it like just normal, just the
So
normal
how
slap?
you slap
just
whatever
like
you
the
feel
normal
like
slap?
is gonna be the right slap, right?
and it's just gonna come out of nowhere, or it's gonna be like a thing.
God. You do
Because I
it.
feel like you build it up enough, and you.
Oh. That was a good slap.
All right, there we go.
Good slap.
It's a preview.
I'm up. I'm back up now. It was a good test of the slap.
Good test.
Slapping coming.
The
Multiple of those.
Slappening point 2.0.
I'm back in action.
You're like, I'm up for another 2 hours.
That's what you get for hanging out to the end,
what you
y'all.
get.
Clip
That's
that.
right.
Clip
That's
that.
right.
And we're good to go. So thank you for hanging out tonight on the stream.
Perfect timing. 11 o'clock.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, have a good one.
Good
Thank you
night.
out.
Thanks for
see
hanging
ya.
out.
Next time you see us, 24-hour stream, y'all.
It's going to be crazy.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.